Hello there. How's it going, guys? Be 1 minute here. Got to get my tweet out. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter today, chat, but there was this thing going around where when you clicked it, it gave you a random servant that said that that was your servant that you summoned. And so I clicked it, and it gave me a saber face. I was like, well, not surprising. Fitting indeed. Okay, let me pull up my stream. Mr. Faye, thank you for the 31. Hope you guys have followed Faye. If you guys haven't, make sure you go do so. He's a good buddy of mine. Awesome streamer and talented artist. Much more so than me. Air Dan, thank you for the follow. And thank you to everybody that followed yesterday while I was offline. As for why I was offline yesterday, I have to apologize for that, but it was my last day off for headed back to work. So I just said, hey, you know what, I'm just gonna chill. And then that, you know, hilariously enough was like perfectly timed with the announcement of a like gorilla stream from Ina and Crony, which I did not expect to happen. But well, there you go. I guess I predicted it somehow, some way. Okay, tweet is live. Do me a favor, go give it some love. Okay. Crony got Amakusa off start dash and Raiko off stream. You know, the only thing I'm gonna say though is I'll believe it when I see Crony actually like stream, right? Like we know Ina is scheduled to. I'll believe it when I actually see Crony stream. Because as it is right now, Crony didn't show any of that on stream. And it's very easy to just say you did something. So we'll see. But interestingly enough, and then let me go ahead and get live here. Like I said, we got the tweet out, so we're good to go. Arch, thank you for the 23, and again, I hope everybody's doing good today. Let me grab you guys today's artwork. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Go give Alto some love. Alto's a fantastic artist. Definitely has more risque versions on his Pixiv, but regardless, very talented artist. Draws a very thick Lartoria, so I highly recommend. Hello, Marcus. How's it going? Here it is over here for you guys on the YouTube side of things. Again, I hope everybody's doing good. I still have congestion. It's probably going to be a thing for the next couple weeks, I guess. But it will be what it will be. So, interestingly enough, I'm still in the process of rolling out my lotto boxes. I got about 3 days to do so. I've made some really good progress. We got Squirtoria up from 104 to 114 now. We got Zerktoria up from 102 to 106. Excuse me. I don't know why. I think I cleaned some, and so it's stirred up some dust in the room. And then chat, in honor of it being a saber face. Excuse me. We went ahead and we level 100'd the newest saber face. Ina's apparently been playing Samurai Remnant. Yeah, I suspect Ina has we know Ina's a Fate fan. She's drawn stuff for it before, obviously, but even before that point, chat, she played on JP. That's why, if you guys were confused as to why it was that Ina was starting a new account, that's the NA account that she is, I guess, actually authorized to stream. So because she's a Hololive EN person, she's going to be doing it in English, and therefore she's going to be playing on the English server. I guess it kind of makes sense that it would be difficult for her to play on JP, because then she'd either have to read to people in Japanese, or she'd have to use something that they probably don't condone. So I can understand that it's going to take her being able to do it on NA in an official capacity. That's why she had to start from scratch, and she kind of explained that. It's interesting to me that Crony started, and I was saying this early on, that it was honestly pretty boring of a stream early on, because they were just going into here's why you guys should play FGO. Thank you for the bits. Usually watch on YouTube. We'll give Twitch a try this time. It's all good. Appreciate it, Air. And hello, Lucas. But yeah, so we it was a pretty boring stream, and they kind of just ended up going over some of the tutorial stuff. Honestly, they were giving more of an explanation of mechanics than the actual in-game tutorial does, which is freaking hilarious to me. The fact that all of that was sponsored, and they had slides that were made by people to explain stuff, and I'm why is this more info than is actually available in the game? I'm that's so wild. It tells me that they know it's wrong, but they're not going back and changing it. Well, sorry, not wrong, but just it doesn't give nearly enough detail. And so I found that really, really hilarious. But yeah, so it was pretty boring up through that point. But then I even said to people, I was I don't know why, but this is just not going to be a thing until they actually let them play the game. And sure enough, they started going over the GSSRs, and I'm just okay, this is boring, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then Ina finally pulled it up on screen, and I was okay, now we got something, right? If you're actually going to play the game, nothing Ina or Crony could say would have any amount of impact as much as one of them actually playing the game in front of their audience. Because, like, I can't tell you how many people in the comments, and I was just like sitting there playing a game myself, but I was watching it on the side screen over here, and I was just like, all the comments going by, like, does this game have pity? What do you guys need to do for this? Like, oh, can I borrow you guys' notes on this stuff? Like basically, like, people asking about the game and actually having legitimate questions the second she pulled it up. It's wild how much of an impact that has. And that's why I was saying, like, I'm really surprised that they're just going to keep, like, paying them to do a sponsored stream and, like, them not actually have to play. That would be crazy if they could get away with that. But definitely good if they do it. Listening to Crony was so dull. She did not sound enthused or sounded super fake to me. She does, and I think that's because, like, she had a bad time with FGO, and I think that influences her, like, opinion of it, right? In the same way that, look, chat, I'm gonna say this. I have never seen people more pissed off about FGO than Genshin Impact fans. And I have a point that I'm gonna make here. So here's the setup, right? The entire reason that I'm blaming Genshin Impact is because all of those Genshin Impact fans that are salty at FGO are all former FGO players. That's who it is. It's FGO players. Nobody actually gets more angry at FGO than FGO players. No one. So it's freaking wild to see this as, like, you'll go on the internet and be in, like, some random place and FGO will come up and they'll be like, man, fuck that game. I got screwed this one time in the gacha like 5 years ago, and I have never lived it down. I refuse to let that game go. I am just always, forever going to make it my mission to shit on that game because of that one time that I spent like $2 and didn't get the thing that I wanted. Look, I get it. It happened, okay? Like, I think it happens to most people at this point. And a little bit, it's freaking wild to me how many gacha games most of these people play, and yet they'll still get butthurt over one role, 5 years ago that happened. So, I don't know why that is, but it just is. And so, I think having, like, people out there, and I said this before, that the very first stream they had, that was one of the smartest things that they ever did. That Crony and Ina have infinitely more impact than, like, Albert. Albert getting up there doing anything has infinitely less impact than Ina or Crony doing something for the game. And the reason why is because what they do will turn heads, it will change minds, it will actually get new, fresh eyes on the game and get people to break that internet conditioning that they've been hearing from years from salty ex-FGO fans. It will actually get people to check out the game, give it a fair shot, and decide for themselves whether or not they like it. And sure, more people will probably get pissed at the game because of this, but there will also be a shit ton of people that will become new fans and actually enjoy it. That's the beauty of it. So it's like, it's almost like they needed to do this all along, and that's kind of the point that I've been making, is that, like, hilariously enough, they don't want to work with content creators, but they will work with corporatized, VTubers. At the end of the day, it's still the same. It's still a content creator. And sure enough, it's gonna work. The more they do this, the better it will be for them. The more they allow Ina to stream the game, the better it will be. If they can somehow bait Crony into actually streaming it, the better it will be. And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense for them to try and get them to actually play, since both of them are drawn by FGO artists. Both of those VTubers are disincentivized for no other reason than who they're drawn by to shit on the game. They will not shit on this game. I know Crony kind of did, but she's not going to go any further than that. I guarantee it, because she doesn't want to piss her artist off. She doesn't want to disrespect them, right? So I kind of get it. From the not dedicated and loyal community base. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I just use that as an easy joke. It has nothing to do with Genshin itself. Just that like anywhere you go, and you could go to Genshin, you could go to Arc Knights, you could go to Nikkei, you could go to Blue Archive, any other popular gacha game, and just go into like a server, go on to like their forums, go on to their subreddit, and type FGO and watch heads explode around you. Just watch it. I'm dead serious. You will never see any weirder reaction than that. Because it's wild how often I have seen that in other places. And so that's all I'm trying to say. It's like a lot of it is just salty ex FGO players. That's all it is. We got some ads in the form of VTubers, yes. They want the assurance of a Japanese corporate company to work with, I guess. Yeah, it's more like they want to know that everything that gets said is like on the up and up with them. The reality is, I think if they actually just wrote a contract that a content creator had to abide by, that they could relatively control what gets said. Like, I know that's not a good thing. You don't want to like control the entirety of someone's perception and opinion, but this is a thing that happens in content creation. It's one of the biggest things I don't like about like taking sponsorships. And it's why there's actually been several like Chinese companies that have reached out to me to like cover a gacha game for them. And I'm not talking like, the big ones, right? Because I think the bigger you get, like stuff like Genshin, usually when I look at sponsorship offers that they give me, they're very much just like, please just play the game, right? Like they don't really care what you have to say about it. For them, it's a numbers game. Whereas these smaller companies, they get really like controlling usually, and that's kind of where I think like I've had some that have been like, okay, you're gonna have a 15-minute piece, and here's like the rap sheet of everything you're gonna say for like each minute, and I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, I don't want to sit there on like some sort of like timetable and like have everything like I'm saying controlling down to the very like millisecond. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's like I want to at least give my authentic like opinions of a game and stuff like that. But I do think you could reasonably say like just basically be like, hey, just don't say anything negative, right? Like, and that would cover you for the most part. Usually it's poor form anyways if you're ever sponsored to say something negative, and it pretty much, if it ever gets back to the sponsor, will assure you that the sponsor's probably not gonna work with you again. So it's generally not a smart idea for a streamer to actually burn such a bridge if they value the working relationship that they have. But it is what it is. Rushin, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Who is your JPGSSR? I don't remember. My JPGSSR was... Crap, who was my JPGSSR? I was pleased with it. And I don't remember who. Cuckoo, thank you. Yes. Chat remembers more than I do. What are the conditions for the next event? We're going to go over that actually in a little bit. I'm going to do the full-blown review, but I believe it's Lost Belt 3, I think. I may be wrong on that. We'll cover it when I actually get to it. Because we picked it. That's true. Chat picked it. Quick question. How do you have over 1,000 experience crystals? I thought they were taking inventory space, or am I mistaken? So right now it's difficult to read in Japanese, and I only know this because of NA, not because I can actually read Japanese. I play the Japanese server by like familiarity rather than actual ability to read Japanese. But this should say total, because this is the amount being depicted that is both in my inventory and my second archive. So like 1,200 of these are from my second archive. And if you doubt me on that, I'll just go ahead and show you. So here it is. I can't even get my thing all the way down to the bottom there. There you go. So, but actually, interestingly enough, as to like a strategy that you can use, Lilas, in order to get more. This is something crud, I'm capped. This is something that like I do, and I highly recommend watching my video on it. It's called How to Stack Your Mailbox. And basically, or I think it's like how to fill your mailbox. I don't remember exactly the terminology, but it's posted on the channel. And so like what I do normally is I like come through here and I start taking out any stacks that are like less than a certain amount. And so like you'll see like I'll basically right now I think I'm taking out all stacks that are 10 or less. And so all that remains as I do this sort of thing are the stacks of embers that are like over that amount. And eventually I fill up like almost all 400 of my slots with these embers. The only other embers that I'll have still in here are like older embers that, as you can see, are like a 100 stack or more. And you can actually see the age on some of them. These are going to expire in basically 120 days. So I got about 4 months to use them. But this is how I am able to roll around with so many embers all the time. I basically do a lot of boxes at a lotto. I stack my mailbox, and I just roll forward throughout the year with that. And it makes it really easy. For instance, in this lotto, like I said, I got like one of my units to 110. I got another unit to 106. I finished off basically Yamato Takeru to 100, and then I actually ended up doing the Guru Guru 4 Berserker that I had rolled that I had forgotten the level all the way up to 80. So. Maximize your lotto box. Thank you, Torak. Yeah, let me grab that link for the YouTube people. If Shiki kills the servant in a forest and there's no one there to notice it, does it still count? No. No, for lore arguments, it doesn't count because no one was aware that Shiki killed a servant. I still have no time limit ember stack. Yeah, the gigantic stack that we got back in the day. I still have it myself. It's a a windfall for a rainy day type thing. How do you balance between an ongoing event and bleached earth nodes? I just do them. Interestingly enough, I have noticed that the devs have cost themselves dearly. I'm not gonna say that you're gonna be able to do this in every event, but hold on, let me pick something here just to get my AP spending. But essentially, there we go. Yeah. But essentially, what I like to do is I like to just go ahead and do my 3 nodes a day. That loses me 120. The only issue with this will be if there's some sort of like timed exclusive in the middle of the event. So that would be something like a raid. We had that happen recently on JP. But for all other events, basically, I nat AP them. I do my 3 storm pods a day. Basically, I start out the event from 0 so that I know I don't have any sort of load. I do my 3 storm pods a day until I get to the 90++. Then I nat AP the 90++ in a continuing fashion from earlier. And what I do is I 6 slot it. Okay? Now, I know everybody likes to 3 turn. Not every single 90++ node in the game is 3 turnable with 6 slot. Okay? I say that. I'm sure, like, if you're someone that wails and has MP5 of everything, you probably can. But outside of that, most people will not be able to 6 slot a 90++ easily. I just go ahead and do it and say, I don't care about 3 turning. Okay? Another exception to that would be a lotto event. Lotto events, I do care about 3 turning. But for all other events, I don't. So I just go in there, I do it, I 6 slot it, I don't care how many turns it takes. Doing that, doing everything on nat AP, gets me really close to my goal. I usually nat AP shop clear without having rolled, or with just having rolled like FP for some of the like 3-star seeds. Usually that gets me somewhere close. From there, then the only other trick that I have is in the last 3 days of the event, I do no storm pods. And the reason you do no storm pods is because you can stack up to 9 storm pods, so you don't need to do your storm pods for the last 3 days. So then that means you're full bore at maximum efficiency usually by that point, being able to do it, and you end the event at 9 out of 9 storm pods. Kind of convoluted, but it's worked for me, and I have not had to like Like, I've managed to get all my storm pods done. I have used very few apples, which is funny because the devs keep giving out apples so that you can do both. But because they've made 3-week events, the events are still somewhat designed to be done in about like 2.5 weeks. Sorry, 2.5. There we go. So like, I've managed to just capitalize on that and kind of abuse that fact that they're doing that. FGO starting to get in chill time for a while. It won't be chill. Not really. Like, I suspect we're gonna have both the JP collab and the Case Files rerun here in January coming up. Case Files rerun will have a raid in it. I've talked to Avalon. Avalon says he's not making a guide for this one. I'll believe it when I see it. But again, it is what it is. So it's like, you'll at least have stuff to do on the NA side of things. We're not going to be like going into dead zone just yet. I mean, okay. Will Barbados raids be the next best spot to use teas? I don't know if it'd be Barbados or if it would be like the 90 plus node. Something tells me, and I don't remember why, but something tells me that it's Valentine's Day is the next best time. Cad, why do you play JP? So that I can inform people of what goes on that server. That is actually the entire reason. I never would have started otherwise. If I were not a content creator, I would not play JP. But because I became a content creator, I decided to pick up JP. And the only reason I did was just so that, you know, again, as someone that is a, I guess, more knowledge and informational driven streamer, I pride having accurate knowledge and stuff like that. So hearing stuff secondhand from people that play JP rather than playing it myself would have felt weird. Barbados would give the same amount of raid as the coin one. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't remember if it's like actually 90 plus or something, or 90 plus plus. Yeah, taking the hits of the community doesn't have to. Yeah. Well, and people ask me all the time, should I play JP? And I tell them no. Usually I tell them no for a couple of reasons. One, because it's annoying to balance 2 servers. 2, because it's like, it does have a little bit of that like, oh man, I can't read Japanese curve. And 3, because at the end of the day, having any alt account, regardless of what server it's on, usually ends up being not worth. If you can't like handle it as if it were a main account. That is to say, a lot of people end up starting on impulse, playing it for like a few weeks to a month, and then dropping it, and then like it would have been better had they just never bothered, because they instead just kind of like burnt all that time for nothing. See, look, Avalon's already creating a text guide for you guys right there. New plug suit, you don't even need to bring someone for cleanse, as the skill 2 has offensive cleanse. He's getting started early. I got really burnt out on Lottos. Understandable. I think that's the biggest issue. Like, trying to play 2 servers at once, especially during Lotto season, sucks. Oh, that sucks so much. It is just not fun. By the way, chat, NP1 comma. It is a grailed one, but it will kill. Not everyone can dual wield gachas, yes. Looks like I'm about to level up soon. Actually, I need to check the JP missions, so give me 1 second here. Yesterday the guide said to complete 1 run of the pirate ship, which was technically true, but not. 1 run of the pirate ship would not have completed everything for you. It just would have like made it so that any other nodes you did would complete it for you. The problem is, like, if you just logged out and never did any other nodes or just made blue apples instead, you would have you would have not completed it. But the missions don't expire, at least until they're like final time slot, so you're like, you guys have time even if you miss a day. Are you starting a character on the Swedish server? There's a Swedish server? I wish. I wish. Just so I could go and be on it to antagonize Tourette. Don't think I could throw Beowulf at Barbados? Yes. You just make blue apples in the morning? No. Most of the time I don't. Most of the time, like, I get up in the morning and I basically go through my normal routine, and I end up, like, during that routine playing most servers. The hardest times on me are always, basically with, whatchamacallit? What's the word I'm looking for here? Whenever there's story releases. Because trying to have enough time in the morning to actually sit down and read, like, it doesn't take me long to do a node, but trying to actually sit down and like read new release story, that's difficult on me in the morning. But usually I spin down what I need. If there is truly nothing going on JP, I will wake up in the morning, I will do 3 runs, and then I will make blue apples. So, there's that. Best place to farm dragon teeth? You mean like fangs, or you mean like you need dragon reverse skills? Because like fangs, for a long time it was dimming, but I think there's like a better node now, somewhere in Lost Belt, if I remember correctly. If you're ever curious about that, just type in ! drops. I think has it. When do we get blue apples? In May. Or at least, it should be May. The problem is it's a download campaign, and those can shift around, so. Yeah. Like, that'll probably be in A's 20 million, I think. Because we were supposed to get our 20 million back during like November, but they didn't call it a download campaign. They called it another campaign, and I suspect it's because they wanted to like delay the 20 million because 20 is a big number. You know, they didn't want to be like, woo, 21 million downloads, yeah, here's all this like crazy 25 million download shit. I think they wanted to make it a good number, so that's why I suspect they punted on that one. So I hear you on that. However, they could still give us the survey. It just may come later. That's happened on NA before, where like they just didn't give it to us till like the end of January. It may be a case of like combination of things, like with the earthquake and the collab coming up, they didn't want to. So I'm not gonna like cry foul yet, but yeah, that conversation has already occurred between me and Trubs. And I'm going to tell you flat out right now that if we never get a survey for this year on JP, not a good sign. Absolutely not a good sign. Like, it just basically ends up looking really bad for them. Wait, did I? Oh, okay, hold on. That was the wrong thing. Okay, so JP's missions today. Looks like I gotta do Septum. Okay, so hold on. So it is obtain 1 red item and defeat 3 sky attribute enemies, which I have not done either. Actually, interestingly enough, it looks like I did not finish my mission from yesterday. It's the reason. So they recommend Septum Gaul 1 time for Sky Attribute, and then Training Grounds 20 AP for Red Gems. Speaking of Trubs, he was saying you would tell us something, Cat. Yeah, Trubs is blaming me for his own problems. So, Chat, I told you guys the other day that like I've been chilling out on like Conan and enjoying the server that we have over there. In the process, I gifted Trubs Conan because I know Trubs loves other survival games. He's always going on about his time in Rust and everything. We've played several survival games together. In fact, we may be playing another one on stream together here shortly. I got to talk to him about that. But essentially, I gifted him Conan, and even though he's watched us play Conan before and he said he would never play it, he started playing it, and now he's like addicted, like actually addicted. Like he's like power grinding in it, and it's freaking hilarious. So that is 100% the reason that Trubs did not stream today. I can't speak to other days, but I do know that's the reason today. Because I told him to go to sleep last night, and he never did. He claims he did. He never did, chat. Don't trust him. So, instead of streaming today, he slept. Because he never went to sleep. Once you get hooked on those limitations, yep. Yeah, what are your thoughts on those Cs that increase the percent of mat drops? They're nice, but they're not really that worth until MLB. I actually gotta look. I haven't looked at the newest advanced quest to see, like, basically, like, is there anything new that gets MLB'd from it? Someone in chat might know faster than I would. Because, like, unfortunately, they've been really slow with the advanced quests and actually giving us the MLBs. And so it just keeps, like, bloating the amount of Cs we have. So it's become a, like, thing where it's like, well, you only really need to care when you finally get an MLB. Advanced quest gross. See, I find this really funny because NA is going to get advanced quests. And I'm going to say this. I don't want to hear complaints anymore from people. Once NA gets advanced quests, I don't want to hear complaints about, like, oh, but CAD, why can't they give us a repeatable challenge quest? It's all we want. That's the advanced quests, okay? You got what you wanted. And unfortunately, a lot of them are gimmick fights. And once you know the gimmick, they're rather easy. That's the issue with any challenge quest. Once you've done the fight once, you kind of know. And it ends up not really being that hard. Conan stream win if we have time. If we have time, I'll show it to you guys tonight. I think I'll have to turn on streamer mode, though. Because our server allows full nudity, and I don't know if you guys saw, but Twitch, I called it, chat. I called it. Twitch 100% 180. So they had the implied nudity meta, okay? And they first responded to that by saying, hey, you know what? What if we just allowed all nudity? Because I think they were tired of policing it. So anyways, then they, like, basically got screamed at. And, like, I want to say it was about 32 hours after the initial proclamation, they ended up issuing a full-blown, like, hey, you know what? Nah, that's too much. We're not going to allow it in the art category anymore. Which is, like, stupid as all hell, because if anything, it's the art category was the only category that they should have allowed it in, right? And then, like, I even said back then, I was like, that's still not going to avoid the problem. And so they came out and they had a huge statement today about, like, screw it, I'll just go with this. They had a huge statement today about, like, oh, well, we're actually going to be disallowing the implied nudity meta from now on. You can no longer, like, imply that you're nude, even if you cover it up with, like, a censor bar or something like that. Twitch doesn't allow that, and there's no place for that here. Also, especially if you're, like, underage, you should definitely not be trying this stuff. And I was like, I freaking told him. I told him. I straight up said this was going to happen. The age issue was going to hit them. There was going to be someone underage trying to do this meta, and it was absolutely going to screw them. It was going to get them in trouble legally if they didn't do something about it. Sure enough, that appears to be the case. Someone sick lawyers, didn't they? It's either that or the advertisers got to them. I'm not sure which. but it's not a good look for them right now. It's really not a good look. Yeah, exactly like Zero said. I think it was an easy call to be like, oh, hey, you know those advertisers that you always hear about that are apparently like not okay with everything? So either Twitch had to be lying on one end of that equation. Either the advertisers don't actually care and they keep using them as an excuse, as a shield for them to not do things, or the advertisers really do care and you're about like 10 seconds away from getting in mad trouble, Twitch. And sure enough, appears to have been the case. It's almost like they shouldn't have released it in that state. Yeah. But like I said, to me, if anything, they should allow nudity in the art section. Like, they should allow implied nudity in, like, the, I don't know, the hot tub section or something like that, right? Like, I don't care at that point. As long as they keep it in certain categories. But, you know, I also pointed this out. I'm like, there was, on this quote-unquote gaming site, right? Like, and I know Twitch is a lot more than just gaming nowadays. But it was impossible at that point for, like, any male to actually compete. Like, and I made this point of like, I don't care how good of a Fortnite player you are. Like, you could be god tier at Fortnite, chat. And like, you could be just trying to start out streaming. And it doesn't matter how good you play, because the girl the next stream over's got her tits out. And it's like, I'm sorry, you're just not winning. Like people are gonna go watch that other person. You'll get some people to watch you because you're good. But you're never going to be able to compete with that. And it it just is what it is. So I don't know. Like, I think they were naturally going to have problems that way. Chat, something tells me that did not complete my my thing here. Did that give me any sky kills? Nani? Wrong node? Was that not goal? Yeah. Oh, it wasn't. Yeah, that was Massilia. Crap. I thought, like, I was sitting here, like, down like this, and I was like, oh, that's, like, Britain up there, and I just wasn't looking at, like, the actual lay of the land. Crud. Yeah, that's Gaul. Oh, it doesn't matter who I take, but whatever. Do Ember Quest for Sky? I could, potentially. But there are people who want to watch tits, would have ever come to watch you play Fortnite? That's a good question. I don't know, right? Like, I'm just gonna say, I feel like you can easily have that. You can easily have both on this platform. You just need to, like, segregate it, right? And the easy way, obviously, is, again, because think about the age issue in reverse. Not a streamer who's too young, but think about, like, the kid who just turned 13 and is on Twitch. And, like, they go into their, like, you know, Lego Fortnite, like, directory trying to watch some dude build, and, like, instead they just see some, like, e-girl with her tits out. Like, the kid's gonna see it at some point anyways. Honestly, by the age of 13, they've probably already seen it, right? But, like, at the end of the day, I'm sure that's not gonna make daddy and mommy happy. So, like, I kind of understand. So yeah, it's like, as long as they just said, like, hey, you know what, for all NSFW content, go over here, I think that would have been fine. So no more nude women hiding behind digital black bars? Correct. That is apparently coming to an end effective today. It's like having a strip club at the back of your game store. It doesn't make any sense as a product. Sex sells! It's not like having a strip club at the back of your game store. It's like having a gigantic, like, cardboard cutout of, like, some girl, like, just sitting there with, like, a rockin' set of boobs, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know what I was drawing there. The whole point is, like, it's basically going to, like, increase attention and such. The optics of it is not good. Oh, yeah. I think everybody knew that, but... what's funny too is I know privately they said that the reversal, like a couple weeks back, that the reversal was the result of streamers complaining that it was our voice that made the difference, and it's like, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Yeah. I don't think our voice amounted to jack shit. I think this was always gonna be something else. Laura Croft OG standee? Yeah. Gotta have them triangle titties. Hard like diamonds. Video rental stores were family-friendly places, and they had the 18+ section. That's a good point, right? And like, you always knew, don't go to that section. Like mom or dad shuffled the kid away from it, right? I don't know. It'd be what it be. Like I said, I'm A-okay with them allowing it some. They just needed to be smarter about it, and that needs to be a much more well thought out and like holistic change, rather than just an off-the-cuff, man, we're tired of dealing with this shit. I think that was their biggest issue. Well, not reacting to any VTuber clips or anything? Yeah, I mean, I think if you guys look, I still have the VTuber tag on mine, mostly because I'm too lazy to take it off, and also because, like, I have VTubed before, and I will VTube in the future. So it would just be what it be. Plus, I'm also of that same culture at this point. But I completely... Like, I guess I understand why people get angry, but I'm also going to say this. I don't actually think there's that many people out there that just straight up, like, go to Twitch and then filter by tag. I think the only people that really do that are people that are filtering for a language. I think that's the majority of the tag use. OG Tammy or Floofy Tails? You mean Koyan? I'm not sure who the second one is. Twitch lives off ads. You know, Twitch shouldn't live off ads. Twitch should 100% live off sub revenue, and yet somehow taking like 50% of sub revenue is not enough. Yes? Probably neither. No, probably OG Tamamo. You're pulling a case on, Cad? Oh, you mean like I'm a real tuber suddenly? I did see that she did that. I don't know why. Like did Kason just suddenly decide that she actually was hot and therefore could like pull it off? Or was it like just like a phase that she's going through? She always did both? Okay. Yeah, like I was not super familiar with her before. I filtered by VTuber once when Elden Ring came out. Watching VTubers get filtered by mid-game bosses was 10 out of 10 content. You're saying watching them struggle hardcore because most of them... I don't want to say something here that'd be really bad, but I will say this. Like, I feel like there are plenty of VTubers out there that are good gamers, but there are also plenty of VTubers out there that are more, like, infatuated with being a VTuber rather than being a content creator. And... then when they finally have to play a video game, they're just utterly awful at it because they don't actually play video games. Or you get the inverse where, like, I think there's plenty of VTubers that, like, they ham it up on purpose. Like basically they are, they're not as bad as they appear, but they make themselves seem worse for content reasons. Because then parental control could catch them and they'd lose a lot of children audience. Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff like regulating children. I know that's the issue that YouTube has all the time. YouTube goes about it in a really weird way. I have to tell YouTube that my content is not for children. Which I feel like it should be the reverse, where all content is not for children and you check yes if it is. That way it's like, you willfully had to check yes and can get in trouble when you make something not for children for children. I've never understood why YouTube did it the other way around. Because I feel like all it is like, oh man, I forgot to turn that on. Oh crap. That video where I say the F word 100 times got suggested to someone's 5-year-old. And it gets rid of the comment section, everything. It's annoying. Yeah. Personally, I don't mind if a streamer sucks at video games. They just need to be entertaining. I don't mind if a streamer's new at a video game, right? Like, I think that, like, chat, if I were to go and play, let's say, like, Monster Hunter, right? I've played Monster Hunter, like, a grand total of once. There'd probably be some stuff that I would remember, but I would be the epitome of shit. I would be bad at Monster Hunter, okay? I can understand someone being in my situation. It's either a game they haven't played before, they don't play regularly, or they're just rusty because they haven't played in years. I get that, right? Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that it's like, they have picked up a controller for the first time in their life suddenly. And I'm like, maybe practice a little off stream first. I don't know. Like, I'm not going to fault anyone for being bad at a game so much as I'm going to fault people that are bad at every game. Because at that point, I just don't think they actually care. How do I shoot? Yeah, it's like, pay attention to the tutorial. It will tell you. Wouldn't surprise me if YouTube lost control over the oldest videos or something like that. What do you mean? If I become the new DSP, I don't know about that. People that are new to video games in general. Yeah, like, and I'll say this. I think it's perfectly okay still at the same time. Like, if you want to try that and you're new to video games, go for it, right? I think even still there'd be an audience for that. But how do you stay bad? How are you still bad? Like, continuously, over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like, your whole shtick is how bad you are at video games. I guess. I'm sure there's people that like watching that. I don't. I'm not going to watch that. That just sounds like torture to me. Like, I would just be sitting there constantly being like basically just sitting there being like, do something. Oh my God, please. Guy can afford and manage his gacha addiction fine without begging for money. Nothing at all like DSP. Listen, chat. At the end of the day, I always tell you guys, and I'm doing this so that none of my videos get removed by YouTube again. Gacha responsibly, right? Like, never, ever, 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 ever gacha beyond your means. It's that simple, right? Like, it's that easy. Have you heard Ina's going to be doing FGO? Yes, I did. We were just talking about that earlier, Ryan. Mr. Mamoto, thank you for the follow. Oops, I accidentally won. What is Khadroth doing? Khadroth is doing FGO NA now. I do appreciate you don't guilt me when you do our rolling throwing out the sympathy woe is card. Yeah, I'll say this, chat. I know I've had issues with some people in the FGO community, and that's usually why. I really don't like people like sympathy baiting, right? I've said this before. Like, I've had people be like, especially on my JP account, where you guys know I don't want to spend more money, right? Like, I've had people be like, CAD roll more, CAD roll more, CAD roll more, CAD roll more. And I've said, all right, put your money where your mouth is. At that point, if you want me to roll more, give me the money to do so. I'm not spending it. That's my sign that I'm done. And unless one of you wants to donate, I ain't touching it, okay? But that also being said, I don't expect anyone to, and I will just straight up move on if no one does. So it's basically an easy way to get somebody that's being like super nagging for you to like roll more to just, you know, kind of shut up. It's basically a put up or shut up moment. But yeah, like I don't understand people that like constantly try to like beg for money and donations and such. I know not everyone's in the same place financially. Like, I guess I have no problem with people trying to make money off of stream. But to me, that's more like panhandling. And it's just, yeah, it's like guilt tripping people. It's just, it comes off wrong. Your JP still isn't free to play? My JP isn't free to play because I've paid for my rolls. Yeah, and I'm not making a statement on anyone in particular. I'm just stating my feelings on such an issue, chat. If people want to gift me stuff, I appreciate it. If people want to donate to me, I appreciate it. If people want to, like, throw bits at me, I appreciate it. But I don't ask for it, usually. And I don't think anyone really should. I feel like if you're a streamer and you're having to, like, beg for money, it's probably a sign that you need to go get a job at that point, more than anything. And I'm trying to think of a good way I can phrase this. One of the most ludicrous things that I have ever seen in my entire history as a streamer was I have once watched a Gacha streamer basically claim that they needed money for, like, I think it was car tires, and then like flip around the next month and flaunt their gacha rolls. And I'm just like, that feels so wrong on like such a level where it's like you're asking for someone to pay for some part of your life and then you turn around and blow the money on gacha. I'm just like, nah, fam. Just got a question, but I've caught up on the story so far, so I'm trying to get more essential materials and materials. I'm just wondering for grinding mats as energy efficient as possible. Is it the best to use... Thank you for the $10 donation, Airdan. You did not have to. Like I said, none of that was meant to try and solicit or bait anyone into anything, but I do appreciate it. I'm just wondering for grinding mats as energy efficient as possible, is it best to use the proper location for the drops of said material, or is there another way? So usually how I try to do things, Hellstorm, is I try to like grab everything from events and event shops, and then certain particular like hot button needs early on in an account's history, like you'll see me like focus on them. So you're a-okay to like sit on a node and like do the free quest if you need it, or like go to your training grounds for statues and gyms and stuff. Like a good example, this is usually people need the caster training ground more than any of the others because of like the support units that they get. And I think that's perfectly okay to do. You will reach a point where you won't want to like sit on stuff like the training grounds as often, but like sitting on your free quests will always be a thing that you'll do during dead time, almost always. Can your chat fund your QuickBooks subscription for next year? No, the chat can't pay for that. Yeah, there's the event shop materials list that Bob linked. That's the mats command. And then we have the drops command, which is the drop rate in free quest, like available throughout in the world. Have I ever finished Fate Stay Night? I have not. Do you do daily quests in an A during no events? Yes. Yeah, you guys should always do at least 3 quests a day at minimum. Looks like, wait, is there really nothing? Yeah, do we only get these at midnight? Or do we get them at the 7 p.m. reset? No content? Yeah. Hog? I think these are the 5 a.m. reset. Okay. I don't know what 5 a.m. is. 11 p.m. Okay. That's what I thought. I just haven't paid close enough attention yet to see. So, like, for instance, chat, when there's nothing else for me to do on an A, because I don't have blue apples right now, I'm just running back into Oxford. Why am I running back into Oxford? Do you know how many bells I need? So we gonna be here a while, chat. Yeah, do you think skill 2 on the plug suit is useful? Yes, you will immediately see use of it during the Barbados raid, for instance. Do I think it's as useful as Gander? No, because it's just more situational. Time to hop on Monster Hunter. Yeah, I've had people that have tried to get me back into Monster Hunter for years now, and I'm not saying that I won't. Just that, like, I need to, like, have dead time basically where I can. Like, FGO needs to be not doing much, and I need to be, like, bored out of my mind and, like, got nothing on my docket that I want to play. And usually at that point I go out and find something to play. Is the next time to use Teapot's Barbie raids? I mean, someone in chat was saying that it's the same bond as Tunguska raid was, so potentially yes. But for some reason I have it in the back of my mind that, like, Valentine's Day was really good for it. And I think it may be, chat, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you get the, like, plus 50% bond thing or whatever from, like, choosing someone at Valentine's Day? I gotta double check that, but I think that's where that mentality is coming from. Monster Hunter always feels so clunky controlling. Yeah, that's kind of my issue with it. Do it, Cat. I'll carry you, but you can't carry me when you only have 3 deaths and I use all 3 of them. Like, chat, we getting carded. I still need more proofs. Don't worry, just wait. There will be a lot of. Jack, thank you for the 34. Hope you're having a good one. Are you doing a 2024 overview? Yes, we're going to start off probably the next 2 days here. Take it easier on myself. I am going to do prep for case files. So we're going to go over case files tonight. Tomorrow will probably be Gray, and then Friday will probably be Hephaestion. And then I'll start the, like, New Year's videos next week when, like, we're just kind of in this wait and see mode for when we're going to get case files. And then, like, you know, I kind of have free time to do whatever. Just doot your horn and don't fight it. You mean play the boom sax? Are you rolling Salter on JP? I already have MP2. By all rights, I probably should, but I think my issue is I just went NP5 on someone on JP, so I'm going to spread that out. The problem is, yeah, like, when is Salter getting another banner? I have no idea. Also, I forgot to change this comp. Basically, I have to keep plug suiting because I swapped for whatever reason. Oh, I did the trial quest for somebody and it forced them into the front line. Who is that MP5? Yamato Taku. That's really weird because on my OBS it just shows Ernbrand adding himself. Oh, Saberface, kinda, of course. Yeah, no, just Saberface, chat. You don't have to qualify. It's just Saberface. What does an A get advanced quest and how do they work? I think we get them right here. Our very first one, chat, isn't it at the end of like January? Can we expect a download campaign in May with the SR selector? Yes, but keep in mind download campaigns can move around on an A. And just get her via the ticket. I believe Hephaestion was on the ticket because I believe I took her with that ticket, but I may or may not be wrong. I'll have to look at that. We'll look at that when we do the overview. Beat Koyami farming? Yes, with Kid Gil. This is chat. This is the other reason that Trubs isn't here. I made him sick from using Kid Gil. There's no more half AP strengthening quest campaign. Right now, there's nothing going on. If that's what you're asking. Thank you for leaving that option on. It helps. For some reason, not many people do. Oh, that's weird. I didn't even realize that was an option. So maybe it's on by default, and some people turn it off. But I don't know why anyone would. That's kind of odd. What would happen if you removed Arcuid Zahogaze? I think that's how you get like Neko Arc or Red Arc. Something like that. You get basically Angry Arc. Oh, shit. Well, Kid Gil. Oh, no one else is gonna have charge. This is just gonna be a command seal. I knew it. I knew it was gonna bite me in the ass if I didn't change this comp. He also didn't get any of the buffs. So, me think we gonna use Kid Gil right here. Throw the child to the wolves, pretty much. There was like Kid Gil is trouble. No, it's just my comp. Rewards for ascensions of our servants, summer or spring? I believe we got that for anniversary. I think. I'll have to double check on that. Again, chat, hilariously enough, y'all are asking me these questions. This is exactly why I do the like year-long banner review type streams. Because I do that early in the year. I inform myself of everything that's up and coming. And in the process, I talk to you guys about it and give you guys my insights from having encountered it on JP, right? So like, it both works as a informative stream for you guys and as a refresher for me. So that I go like, oh yeah, that's when that happens. Because like, this is just a thing. I have to keep so much knowledge in my head on a day-to-day basis that it becomes actually difficult for me to keep all the knowledge in my head. What skill do you lore first on Shisho, and what do you lore after? You definitely lore the middle skill first, and if you're gonna lore anything else, it's the third skill. Assuming you're talking. What about a nice 400 Sankwarts bomb at Annie on top of Sankwart savings? Yes. Are you still doing the what I want to see? Yes. Which I believe you already asked me in a prior stream. Line like a steel trap, chat. I think I only needed one 10-shot and a few tickets. Nice. Congratulations. Okay, hold on. We're backing out of this so that I don't screw the comp again. I think Jalter banner in July on 7th Annie and in October for repair support campaign. For what, Gary? There we go. That's all this comp needed, chat. What missions are being added this year? Final Ascension, right? I believe so. MASH considered welfare or normal servant? That's a good question. I don't think she's actually considered welfare. She's just a normal servant that everyone has. But I guess in that regard, she is a welfare. It's just like welfare servants are usually attributed to like the units that are given out for free during like events and such. In that regard, like Mary Anning and like Nobukatsu are kind of weird because you got to roll for them. Did they not say the 30 million downloads campaign is going to be big? They did. They said they're going to try to top the 20 million with the 30 million. And the 20 million chat was our SSR selector. So I'll let you be the judge of that. But I guess you could say we're on 30 million downloads campaign watch, but we're not because we just had the 29 million. So like it's going to be a while, chat, before we get it. Like it'll probably happen this year, but I would look for it more towards like the middle of the year. We got the 29 million. They're at 140 rank ups and 130 interludes in a month. That's wild. That sounds like overkill. Were you just sitting on them for forever? It's like waiting for the half cost? Oh no, it's all good, Adam. Is it just me as this game get older and older to the point where I'm like, what, wasn't this just on JP? Yes, that's also, like, I know, like, us streamers have noticed that effect, and we've kind of talked about it amongst ourselves to the point where, like, it really appears to just be the case with, like, JP slowing down. It's not having as much to do, as much exciting stuff. And then because of that, it feels like not nearly as much has happened in the 2-year gap until something came to NA. And so, like, you're really beginning to feel that, where you're like, man, this is already on NA. But the reality is, no, it's been 2 years, and it just, you don't remember that much else happening in the interim. May I ask if we should make blue apples when there are no events going on or farm mats? The way to usually handle it, I believe my AP Efficiency Explained video talks about this, so definitely go watch it for a little bit more detail. But essentially, whenever there's not an event, okay, whenever there's not like a half-cost campaign or something like that, what do? You log in, do your 3 runs, and then you make blue apples. The remaining AP. Okay? Just make sure you always do 3 runs. What are those 3 runs? I don't know. That could be Ember Gathering, that could be Training Grounds, that could be QP, that could be free quests. It just depends, right? So it's like, whatever it is, do your 3 runs, the rest of your AP make blue apples. You don't have to do this. You can certainly use the rest of your AP on other runs and not make blue apples, but that is the logic that basically you are creating, you're exchanging your AP into a blue apple to be used at a later date where it will become more efficient AP. Okay? So, like, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to change your AP into more efficient AP. And that's lottos, half-cost events, raids, you know, you name it. Limited 5-star ticket copium? Hey, maybe, right? Wait, did Avalon do the thing? Oh my god, he did. Chat, look, behold, the rare NA Master that instead of putting up Master Experience CEs, y'all know who you are, and, like, again, you're perfectly fine if you want to leave Bond stuff up, but he actually put up the Mystic Code. The Mystic Code one to help out people since there's a new Mystic Code. Wild. I see more people with, like, the frickin' Master Experience one. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't care about Master Experience. It happens naturally. Even my JP account's already almost to, like, the new cap. It's at, like, 168 out of 170. Good, I'll use it on my Arctic. Go for it. Why are we rushing the Mystic Code, though? You don't have to. I'm just lauding him for actually having something I can use up. He did it on waiver, too, for the lulz. I mean, listen, it don't matter. Wouldn't speeding up the new Mystic Code also be kind of useless? Sure, but I mean, then maybe you're me and you have nothing else to level, so it doesn't matter. I've just told people, if you have basically any other Mystic Code to level besides this one, focus on that, because you're going to get forced to use this one. That's the whole point, right? Like, basically focus on things you need to level because you can't normally get them done over things that you know will level themselves. Hey, was there a Chaldea Boys raid up last year? Was there a Chaldea Boys raid up? Yes. What was it? I don't remember. But I know there's always been. Was Arjuna Alter? Oh, there you go. Oh, I have no idea. I know the one coming up this year is, but... To be honest, I use the plug suit for 99% of the content. I expect this will be the same. Yep, and that's why you got to try to level your other Mystic Codes, right? Like, don't bother trying to level this one, because it'll level itself. Like, I have it in on this comp, and I don't need it. Like, I'm only using the attack up, because, like, Kid Gil just needs, like, slightly... Like, I think if I don't use the attack up, Kid Gil can low roll and leave, like, 977 HP on the enemy. So I just press it every time so I don't bother to see that. When is Conan of Light banner coming in today? I saw Discord talking about that earlier. Basically, chat, Conan of Light should be happening like mid. Like probably expect it right before case files, but like it may not be before the expiration of Dark. Like, just be prepared for that. And I'm gonna tell you, if your choice is between light or dark, go with light. Right? Like, if you have to miss Conan of Dark for a year, it's not the end of the world. You definitely want light more. I'm finishing off the original plug suit and then I'll switch. Yeah, I don't blame you for that, actually. That's a smart move. World War accounts with most needs met. Is it better to aim for more different farming servants or to try for NP2 plus for a select few? That really depends on you. I'm gonna say there is value at having a couple of units that have higher NP levels for more challenging content. But at the end of the day, if you're someone that gets a lot of joy and satisfaction out of having a more robust, like, wider account, go with that, right? I think there is inherent value in just having more options, always. But yeah, I think, like, if you're confident in, like, what you have, like, for instance, my JP account rolled for, Kagetora, or, sorry, Uesugi Kenshin when she came out here recently, because I had some options that could do buff removal, but they weren't very spammy. And so I went with that to try and finally, like, get rid of that last, like that was one of the last needs that my JP account actually had. I have my needs covered that well on that account, which is good. You know, it takes a long time to get to that point. But, so you'll see me, like, do some rare stuff like that. But yeah, like, now, reasonably, my JP account can just start to focus on new units or higher NP levels. And new units is just a case of, like, on JP, that's difficult because you never know what's coming. On an A, you know what's coming, so you can absolutely make the choice of, do I want that new unit or do I want a higher NP level or something else? Because you kind of can plan it out. JP, harder to do because you don't know what's around the corner. For all you know, it's like the super omega big titty version, big titty goth version of your favorite unit, right? Like, so at that point, it's like, well, I don't know, that could be around the corner. Maybe I should save. Does anyone know if you get a stacked banner with Black Grail C? Black Grail is never on rate up. Ever. Ever. And don't believe people that tell you that it was on rate up in the past. It was not. They're lying to you because they're trying to sound authoritative, but they don't actually know. The only time that Black Grail has ever been quote-unquote welfare is there is a point in the future where there is a 5-star CE selector and you can pick one, and it is on it. But there is never a point at which you can roll it on rate up. I always struggle to decide if I want to go for higher than NP1 on servants. I think that break-even point on a lot of servants is NP2. And that just is like, if you want a more powerful version, grab NP2 of them. NP5s and stuff like that, chat, usually just boils down to, like, this is a desire thing. It's like, oh, it's my favorite unit. I'm going to roll NP5 of them or something. That's fine. Like, but you guys see me all the time where, like, I'll sit there and I go like, well, this unit is useful, and I maybe don't like their performance at NP1, and so I went out and I like grabbed NP2, right? Like I do that sort of thing all the time. So like, let me see if I can find you guys a recent example. So here you go, and somehow there you go. I don't know how it died. So we ended up on Space Ishtar, chat. Space Ishtar's a neutral looper. I've already talked to you guys about this before. I don't like neutral looper performances in NP1. I think if you're going to have them, that NP1, you can use it, but there's going to be way too many times where that NP1 is not strong enough. Okay? So I went ahead and I went out and I rolled for NP2 of her. That's what I did. I didn't go crazy. I didn't do the NP5 like some people. I just went out, I grabbed NP2, and I said, if I ever need to use my Space Ishtar, this is going to qualify. Because the vast majority of like things where like you see someone using an NP5 they didn't need to use Space Ishtar, they just did. They could get away with it. But like it's rare to have the need to, but occasionally Space Ishtar is a really good option, and having that NP2 makes her really beefy. Or to get NP5 through spooks. Yeah, but I mean I think something like that's out of your control, right? Kiara was another one where I know back in the day before a lot of her buffs, Kiara's damage was piss poor. So I ended up going out and getting NP2. Also because, especially the Ultra Ego version, it does impact her refund enough. So, like, there are definitely times where you'll see that. And that was just extra classes, but this can happen in other classes. I've had the CBC 2023 campaign, they just called it something weird. Yeah. Yeah. If pity existed for her first fan, I'd have MP2. Your Nobu is much better now too, Cat. Don't say that. Don't say that. You're absolutely right, and I hate that you're right. You're the best / worst kind of right. Oh my god, dude. Like, the DMs that I get from, like, spam accounts telling me to, like, check out their OnlyFans is wild. I get, like, 5+ a day. Oh, never mind. I just got another one. What the hell? But will you check them out? No, because it's always the same link, right? Like, it's... You know. And if you know, you know. Okay, chat. Let's get set up for guest files. So we did the Coin Sky of Darkness one. I haven't gotten that video out because I haven't uploaded it to YouTube. The second I upload it to YouTube, I can work on it while I'm at work. But if I don't upload it to YouTube ever, I can't work on it while I'm at work. So that's kind of the issue that I had. Plus, I wasn't at work. That's also a thing. I try to leave certain things, chat, for when I'm at work. Because I know I can multitask, and I know I can get it done. And whereas, like, when I'm home, it's like, it's relax time. Okay. Where is my Barbados? Okay, so it's the intro to LB3 must be cleared. There you go, chat. For whoever was asking earlier. Like I said, I thought it was LB3, but But were your work CAD? Yes. Wait, do you edit on YouTube? I can, but no, I hate the YouTube editor. It's awful. Anyone that has ever used the YouTube editor knows that pain. Like, oh. But think of the scammers, yes. You know the best time and place to use teapots before they expire? This question's come up in chat a couple of times because we're getting a couple more teapots. I'm gonna say the Barbados raid at this point, unless like, can someone look into that Valentine's Day thing for me? Because basically, if I remember correctly, there is, like, you get the option at Valentine's Day to select a unit, and that unit, I believe, gets increased bond. So in theory, like, you could double that up with that for some really nice gains, but... Wait, can pray loop? Yes, you can loop your prayers, chat. You could use one unit and the bond can go up to 100% for that unit. Right. So, like, doing so would at least allow you to get even faster track bond for a unit. Up to you to determine if you want to do that. Like, chat, I have a confession to make. I didn't use my teapots on Koyanskaya. I used them the raid before. And the reason I used them the raid before, I knew the units I would have to use for the Koyanskaya raid. I knew that I didn't want to fast track bond on any of those units. Meanwhile, for the prior raid, the Retainer Swarm, I went like, oh shit. Like, I like what I'm using here for this. I'm getting away without using any of my supports. I was able to have a full lineup of people that, like, I wanted and needed to bond. That's when I turned my teapots on. I made sure that it wasn't just bonding for bonding's sake. I was getting good returns on my bond, right? So that was kind of why I did that. Yeah, again, like I said, I guess aim for Barbados raid unless you, like, you know, want to try to, like, be a little bit more selective at, like, Valentine's Day or something. But your comp may be more rigid. Right. Thank you. That's a good way of saying it, because that's kind of what I was trying to say. Is like, if your comp is highly restrictive, you may not have people in there that you want to bond, right? So that's why I say that sort of thing. So sometimes teapots are a little bit in the eye of the beholder. Cat. Chat, someone correct me, but isn't there like a higher requirement for the extra scenario? That's the thing that I'm remembering. I'm remembering that there was some sort of special, like, you had to have done this in order to do it. No? Maybe it's not by virtue of this, but something else? What am I remembering? The Barbados is 1630 bond, case files 90 plus is 915, Valentine's is 915. Up to 1830 bond on your favorite Valentine's server. Right, yeah. So, like, it's just going to boil down to, like, the units that you're taking and whether or not you want to pop your teapots in them. But yes, in theory, the raids. The raids should be the best, then. Maybe Gray's rank up? No, I don't think it's Gray's rank up. Oh, that is going to bother me, chat. Unless there's something in here that says it. Are you remembering that it has a plus scenario at the end? No, because it doesn't. The plus scenario actually is available in parts throughout the event. You guys can see. So like there's the extra scenario right there, and there it is again. I don't see anything that requires more. Yeah. Look at the free quest to see if one has such a condition. I'm asking one of you to do that. So that I don't have to. I know that sounds lazy of me, but like straight up. After clearing Act 3, the extra scenario will be unlocked. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what I'm remembering, is that it was not available right away. Battle unlocks on January 18th. So when did this start? This started on the 12th. So the raid battle should unlock about 6 days in. Conan of Dark's banner lasts until the 10th. How long does the raid last? I believe the Barbados raid and Avalon, if you could check for me, double check behind me. But I believe the Barbados raid was just a 24-hour raid. It may have been available for multiple days though. Why I'm trying to remember, but I believe it was just 24 hours. Anywho, okay, so we're just on schedule for that. We don't have the Arc 1 improvements campaign. We obviously don't have this. Unless they, like, come up with some other excuse to, like, replace it. Which... was this survey? No, okay. Won't have that. Oh, what a cruel and fickle mistress it was. The 2 days of Koyanskaya. That's just mean. 1 day, 2 hours and 52 minutes. Okay, thank you. And you guys did say that there is already a data mine showing Koyanskaya of light, correct? Is it ever said how Gray got Rongo Minian as an NP? Yes. Yes, but you need to go read case files or read her bond lines for that. I don't believe it's ever stated outright in story. I can send it to you. I mean, I trust you guys on it. I just like, I'm just asking that it is, because I don't want to like make a statement that's like, hey, by the way, this is a thing, when it's not, right? Sent it? Okay, let me double check. Okay. I mean, I'll say this. I'm not going to show it because, like, I don't like using data mine, but it's okay. I see, Bob. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, I don't ever like using data mine stuff, but I don't mind when the information can help, like, inform people, right? Okay. We'll check here. Hey guys, my name's Khadroth, and today we're going to be going over the Lady Rain's Case Files rerun that's going to be coming up here in the middle of January on NA. Now, with regards to this, let's first talk about sort of the flow of scheduling leading up to it.
Right now, as of the recording of this video, we're in the middle of the New Year's campaign, which is set to last till January 10th. Again, there appears to have been some issues where we didn't get the half-cost campaigns and such, but it does appear like we got those back at Thanksgiving, so it's just the devs apparently not allowing us to double dip, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But, again, it should all wrap up nice and evenly on the 10th, and then basically we've already had the Arc 1 Improvements campaign. You might see them replace these sort of with some other things from, various other tchotchke type of campaigns that they could throw in, but it is what it is. Like, for instance, the 1.9 million followers commemoration. We're probably not going to get this, but they could just go ahead and list some new amount for the NA sort of social media accounts and say, hey, there you go, right? And celebrate it that way. So it just depends on whether or not they're actually going to do any of this stuff for us, but it's certainly possible that they could. We will not be getting the Chaldea Satellite Station commemorative campaign. These are sort of their winter festival stuff that they run around this time of year over in Japan. So that's just a sort of real life event that they usually do a stream for and talk about merch and such like that. So, but we can expect that you will get the Koyanskaya of Light campaign. On JP, this was only a 2-day campaign. I'm going to expect this to actually kind of hold the same on NA. It'd be very nice if the devs wanted to actually give us like a full week of it, but I think on JP they tried to just use it as a sort of stopgap / bookend to kind of fit right in between the New Year's campaign and the Case Files rerun. So again, expect it to be there. We do already have apparently a data mine showing it in the game files, but again, I'm not going to bother to show you guys that. It's just expect it to come, but just be very wary of the duration of the campaign. You will not have long to roll, but for those of you guys waiting for her, you should have her. As to whether or not it will overlap with Koyanskaya of Dark down here, it probably will not, but again, if you want to wait and see, it may be a thing. I'm going to say, of the two, I would recommend people actually get Koyanskaya of Light over Koyanskaya of Dark. Koyanskaya of Dark still a great unit, but Light just is one of those big meta supports that I think a lot of people are not going to want to wait to have, especially with a lotto coming up early this year in around March for Tesla Fest. So I think people will want to be prepared for that next upcoming lotto, and again, getting a meta support's really going to help with that. The Arc 1 Improvements Campaign Part 2, we have most of the stuff from that as well, so you may see them actually give us some stuff and rebrand it, but again, don't expect it. So then on January 12th, basically right after the 2 days of duration of the Koyanskaya of Light banner, you guys should be able to expect the Lady Rain's Case Files event. This is exactly how it happened on JP. It was, again, then, and it's probably going to be how it is for NA. So I would expect it around January 12th. Also, keep in mind on NA, we usually have a little bit of a forward crunch on NA in the early months due to the whole schedule shuffling that we end up having with regards to story releases and anniversary. We are going to be expecting Trump in the middle of the year, and we know we have anniversary, so some things are going to have to shift around. Just keep that in mind, but again, I would expect this on the 12th because that's basically the earliest they can run it. So now with regards to the actual Case Files event, this one is going to require completion of the intro to Lost Belt 3. So again, it's basically like completing Lost Belt 2, but just make sure that you've done at least the intro for 3 in order to be able to have access. It is going to include sort of a extra type of story, an extra scenario in this one, if you will. So there will be some additional stuff for you guys to do. It's not just a one-to-one rerun. And again, you guys can expect that to be the case. But this is one of our last remaining reruns, and as such, it does mean that you can use old CEs and such to your advantage, and this will give you another crack at Gray. We will be going over Gray in another video, but I will briefly talk about her when we get to her point. So again, just giving you guys an idea, the release schedule pretty much worked as is, where you got the main quest Act 1 through Act 10, and basically the extra scenario available. However, you were not able to do the extra scenario until Act 3 had released on the original part. In this case, you will probably need to do up to and through Act 3 to get the extra scenario to appear, but otherwise it shouldn't be time locked because of the nature of this being a rerun. That is to say, it should be available right off the bat. Then you will get the epilogue, which is basically the main quest Act 10 Part 2. And then essentially that will come basically 6 days later. This should unlock really with the raid in this event. Yes, you heard me right. There is an upcoming lotto and there is another raid. So for those of you guys that haven't had your fill of farming, you have even more farming to do. Again, this is going to be the return of the Barbados raid. I'll talk about him when he gets there. There's going to be a new servant, Hephaestion, in this one, aka Faker, if you've heard anyone talking about her. She's a very interesting unit. She's a really good pretender. I'll talk about her in another video as well, so stay tuned for that. But again, I do recommend keeping your eye on her. However, she will be on Raid Up with raids, which some of you may already have from the initial event or from GSSRs or, what have you. So again, you may not wish to roll here. She should be available on the 4-star ticket later in the year if you want to wait for then. And she is a permanent unit, so she can spook you. Just keep in mind, if you're a more free-to-play oriented player, that the odds of any given unit spooking you can be low since you don't end up rolling as much. Bear that in mind with regards to decisions on whether or not to roll to acquire the unit. There is going to be a bonus as well for Gray during the event, which will give her 2 times experience, and basically her NP will deal 50% extra damage in event quests. This will allow her to be used in sort of counter-class type of nodes, and perhaps even in the raid itself if you set it up right. And you will see she will be getting some upgrades during the event, which are really going to help her out. Again, for the event mechanics, you guys can see you have to advance the main quest to temporarily add Gray in your lineup. You're going to unlock new main quests and free quests by clearing the main quest. And then after clearing Act 3, the extra scenario will appear for you guys and be able to be done. That's going to be sort of Hephaestion's story on the side. So you're going to have the main scenario that you're doing and then this extra scenario, kind of like in the CCC rerun, if any of you guys still remember that. So you will have a little bit of a side quest to do. Don't worry, there's not going to be a King Protea-esque fight in this one, though. Again, you're going to then have to clear missions to acquire rewards and unlock the main quest. This is a mission event, so you guys can expect it accordingly. That does mean sites like Game Press should have a very good and useful event guide, as they normally have a sort of like mission efficiency list of basically nodes that you need to do in each order for each amount of times in order to get through the event as fast as possible. Just keep that in mind and keep an eye out for it. It's then going to ask you to acquire items, basically to exchange for event currencies in the shop, and basically equipping CEs will increase item drops. So again, you guys can see the little infographic here. You've got the 5-star waiver CE that's going to give you the clocks. You've got the 4-star gray CE that is going to end up giving you the sort of stuffed rabbits there. And you've got the 3-star CE that's going to end up giving you what I assume is, let's see. Yeah, formal leaves. I have no idea. It looks like it's tea leaves. And then there will be a monster spawn craft essence. So the thing to keep in mind is it's going to be rare spawns. You guys don't need to stack up to 100% of the rare spawn. The missions sort of account for that. They obviously want you to get some rare kills, but usually you only need a certain amount equipped. You can see here too, the base rate of rare spawn is 25%. So even at that point, having a couple of these equipped will put it at a really high rate. That should be really all you need. It should be, 2 to 3 CEs really to have a good rate of them appearing. Don't really take more than that. I don't recommend it. Try to take drop Cs so that you can still work on the shop. But again, that should allow you to kind of get through, and that should allow you to get enough rare spawns to actually complete the missions on average. And certainly if you've seen that you've already completed all those rare spawn missions, feel free to take them off. You won't necessarily need them to actually spawn more. You'll also have 5 non-limit break Cs. Will guarantee it, but like I said, I don't think you're going to need that many. And you can limit break the CE as well. Then on basically 6 days into the event, like I said, this should happen on our 18th as well, but the reason I'm saying 6 days in is because it may change depending on NA changing the start date. And as a result, just keep an eye out for this, but this will be when the sort of epilogue and raid unlock. That's the big thing that you guys are going to want to focus on. For those of you guys that are not done with the event, you can use the raid to complete the event, but again, it's just going to be a little bit of a thing where some people will not have apples to be able to farm, some people will not care about the materials, so don't expect that everyone's going to farm this one, but certainly it will be lucrative if you want to. I've had a lot of questions about teapots lately on stream, and I'm going to tell you guys flat out that you absolutely can run this and use your teapots on it. Just keep in mind that your comps for the actual Barbados raid can be rather rigid, just depending on what you're needing in order to actually clear. So bear that in mind, that it may not be the best people that you want to actually work on the bond for. Maybe you're not trying to fast track your meta supports and such. But again, there will be another option there where coming up with Valentine's Day in February, you will have the sort of lock-on mechanic where you can choose a servant to kind of devote to during the event, and that's going to give them 100% increased bond. Using a teapot there could potentially help fast track them, so you could use it in that regard as well. But again, I would recommend either the Barbados raid or trying to wait for Valentine's Day, and it's just going to depend on who you want to bond and who you'll be taking to each node. Masters will work together to deplete the raid gauge for this, and the raid should last somewhere in the realm of about a little over a day. So it should be about 24, 26 hours, somewhere in there. And then again, if you clear all main quests permanently, you will add Gray to your lineup. So that at that point, she'll become permanent for you, and you won't have to worry about losing her. Again, you will have event craft houses here. We already talked about there is the rare spawn CE from the shop. This one is all attack scaling, and it's actually not the worst one in the world. It's arts performance by 10% and P-Gen by 10%, and 4 critical stars every single turn. So not a bad one at all. And then here you guys can see we have the event command codes. So the Da Vinci command code is actually really, really nice. However, you're not going to be able to get multiple of it. For those of you guys that got it on the first run, it's going to turn into a rare prism instead. Again, this is just sort of par for the course. We've already known this, but for those of you guys that don't have it, it increases in P damage for 1 turn for yourself when attacking using the engraved card. It's one of the only things that will actually influence your NP command code wise. So I do recommend getting your hands on this if you haven't already gotten it. It's just a good way to boost power. Again, then from there, we get the 4-star command code, and this one is going to increase damage dealt to undead enemies, so it is a nice 15% power mod for your card. So pretty nice in that regard. And then, again, if it's already acquired, you'll just get 200 mana prisms. And then for the last one here, it's going to increase the, whenever engraved on a Buster card, the critical damage of the Buster card by 15%. And if you already have it, it's going to give you 100 mana prisms. For your event servants, you guys can see here's your bonus. There will be damage bonus, there will be bond bonus, but there will not be drop bonus. You don't have to worry about that. Again, if you want to work on bonding any of these units during the raid, there you go. That's another thing to consider for teapots. And then certainly the damage bonus is going to be really nice, as we already talked about the fact that Gray's NP will do 50% more. So her NP is going to really start popping off between that damage bonus and the additional effect. And again, you guys can see Hephaestion is going to be in here as the new unit as well. So you do have plenty of other units here that can work. And again, for stuff like the raids, having, Estrella in here is going to be really solid too. So there's quite a bit of damage potential, but no, you don't have to use any of these units. They'll just probably make your life easier as you move through the event. The summoning campaign will obviously be raids, but now with an added Hephaestion on it. And remember, chat, this is basically going to be as is from now on. So we are now past the point that JP had pity. Therefore, you guys can expect all of the sort of schedules and such for our roles to work exactly like JP did, unless they decide to change it for whatever reason to wreck our clairvoyance. But again, I do think this is a rather nice banner. You do have the potential to get Why Done It here. It is a split stat one, but it does give Buster an MP gen by 20%. Prayer for Winter gives NP gauge and critical damage, and Elmaloy's Lecture Hall gives quick and NP gen. So again, decent if you want the CEs to help you out in the event, and then certainly having Reigns and Hephaestion on the banner can be good, especially for those of you guys that don't have a good 50% charging support. Reigns is definitely a solid unit in that regard. For your second summoning campaign, you're going to have Waver show up. He is also a 50% charging unit, and you do end up having Estrella on banner with him. Again, both of these are permanent, whereas with Reigns, she is limited and Hephaestion is permanent. With his second banner, definitely has a lot of capability in it as well, especially if you really like Estrella. She's a very strong unit down the stretch. So certainly it's going to have the same CEs and nothing too much more to expect there. The Da Vinci Workshop will get an update, basically giving you the commemorative campaign quest. Again, nothing too much here, but for those of you guys that missed it the first time around, I believe you just get a CE from it, but let me double check here for you guys real quick. Yep, the Grace Note CE will be what you'll get, and that's pretty much it. So you guys can do that, but I don't really recommend spending the rare prisms on it, so it is what it is. We will be getting strengthenings here. Reigns is going to be getting her NP interlude. This one's rather nice, as it gives NP generation rate for the party and will allow the party to be overcharged. The issue with Reigns is going to, as always, be getting to her NP, but once you get to it, this can actually be some decently nice effects, including the effects that she already gives, especially the ability to nullify class advantage against anyone in the party. So really nice in that regard for Reigns. But then I think the big one here is actually going to be Gray. This is going to be huge for her because this basically ends up bringing Gray into the current Buster meta a lot more fluidly. It's not only going to be a very nice damage increase that's going to, I'd say, negatively impact the AoE assassins sort of behind her at this point, but it is going to be really good for her as it's going to add Ignore Invincible to her NP that she didn't have before. It's going to increase the amount of damage, and it's going to allow her NP to charge 10% on the back end of the NP, like a lot of the Saber faces have. And that's going to be really good for her because that's going to allow her to function in a double Koyanskaya setup. And again, we'll talk about this more during the video, but the way it basically works is Gray has 20% charge on the outset, and now 10% refund on every single one of her subsequent NPs. When a 3-turn in a double Koyanskaya setup, it kind of works like this, where basically you'll end up using the double Koyanskaya 50% charges in the middle wave there. You'll also end up probably having to use Oberon here, so that's going to be 70% on the final wave. So you need 20% right here to get it, but with double Koyanskaya, you're going to get that 20% charge skill back. So that's 100% charge for the final wave. You've got 110 for the second wave. And so then from there, really, at the end of the day, you can have her append unlocked because you will be getting the coins here as well. So from that point on, you can start her out with a good 60% CE. Again, there are several in the game that can be really nice for you with double Koyanskaya, Oberon, and get some good firepower out of Gray. So again, it's a really, really nice upgrade for her. Now, with regards to the shop, just kind of going through it real quick here, we've got the Gold Craft Essence shop here. You got 2 copies of the Spawn CE. You've got a Crystallized Lore. You've got Gray coins. Again, I highly recommend you get them. You guys are now in the Grail casting era. If you're unsure of what to do with coins that you don't really have a use for, please, please, please go watch my Grail casting video. I explain everything, including the logic behind it, including the expectations for how many Grails you can print a year and how much FP that will cost you. So definitely go check that out if you guys haven't already. Again, you will have some nice materials here, including Bacchus wine, the scarabs, feathers, and the fairy scales, and then your gold statues should you need them. Your silver material here is going to have 1 copy of the shop CE, another crystallized lore, and then more Gray coins, eggs, bicorn horns, LB3 bells, and then pages here, as well as the silver monuments, with the bronze one coming in with 1 more copy, giving you to a total of 4. I believe the 5th copy is gotten via missions. Another crystallized lore right there, so that's 3 just from the shop. And more Gray coins, your normal foes, 5-star embers, 4-star embers, and 3-star embers. And then rounding it out with some essential mats, including meteor horseshoes, gears, stakes, and proofs of the hero. Again, the mission list is going to have some nice stuff in it. Like I said, I highly recommend checking out Game Press's guide. They usually do a good job of sort of giving you a line for line, hey, here's how you need to go about the event. Mission events usually aren't that hard, especially now that there is the in-game quality of life that will actually tell you, hey, this node has a mission target. Interestingly enough, it was implemented on the Gouda event this past year, which was actually the worst event for it because you had detective missions that were repeatable that would still show that it was a mission target. But now, for all events after that, it'll actually be a really useful quality of life. especially in a mission event, as it's going to allow you to quickly and easily see what you need to do without having to result in trusting a guide. But certainly, if you want to be as efficient as possible, go check out the guide. It usually is a good thing. But just to give you guys an idea here, you're going to get some tickets. Again, some apples, QP, mana prisms, basically Gray's Ascension mats. Again, gold foes are going to be locked in the missions, and even some really nice gems and Ascension mats. And going through here, you're also going to get copies of Gray. Again, more gold foes there, more copies of Gray, more Ascension mats for her. I'm just trying to look through here real quick to see if there's anything else of note. Yep, so there is your 5th copy of the CE right here. It's going to be Mission 78. Basically, clear 5 memory reminiscence quests. So you're probably not going to get that till at least decently later into the event. But again, it's up to you. And basically your final copy of Gray from clearing all quests. So keep that in mind that this includes the challenge quest and extra scenario in order to get that final copy of her. And then again, you guys can see that you will need to clear quests with Gray in your party. So this could mean that you could use her actually clearing it or stick her in your backline. Either or, just make sure that you actually do put her in. Missions like reaching her Ascension and bonding her are still here. It's 3rd Ascension and bond level 3. For those of you guys that did this the first time, you won't have to do these because they'll just auto-complete for you. But again, definitely make sure you don't forget to put her in your party. And then, again, you get another copy for clearing 90 missions and even more crystallized lures in here, as you can see. I'm not going to go through the main quest. You will get a Grail for those of you guys that haven't completed this, I believe, and you will not. If you've already completed it, you'll just get another crystallized lure instead. There is going to be free quests. Again, you can see there is the indication that there are rare enemies, so don't forget about that. But you can kind of see the sort of like quick summary of some of the best nodes. You will have to kind of go back through and hop through each of these, making sure you get enough kills in order to complete your missions, but it is what it is. There are going to be memorial and challenge quests with this. Again, this is how it happened on JP. I'm not sure whether or not it will on an A, but I believe these are part of the actual event, if memory serves, because the way the Case Files event goes is you are hopping through sort of a recollection of prior singularities. Not going to spoil any of the story for you in that regard, but certainly it is an interesting one for those of you guys that haven't read it before. And then there will be 2 challenge quests here as well, which will give some decently nice rewards. And then the extra scenario itself here basically will be the Hephaestion stuff. And this one will actually be quite nice because you'll end up getting yet another lore there, and that will also, completing it will unlock the 2nd challenge quest. Now, I believe we have the Barbados raid, and that should be... Let's see, which one is it? It's yet another memorial, and I just don't remember. Thunder main story? Okay, there we go. Yes, that's true. Thank you. Thank you, chat. Because this was part of the epilogue. But that's why I was looking for it. So yeah, so basically, once you complete the main story, then boom, here you go. The raid battle will unlock 6 days in. And again, you can see you have to clear Act 10 2 out of 3 in order to get it. And there are 35 million lives for the pillar. Again, this is going to be an interesting one. It's only 500k HP. Barbados can do multiple field effects. We're not going to be putting out a guide for this because it's only 500k. Most of you guys should have something that can kill this now. Especially even with things like Oberon, you can get like 3 stars and such able to kill this stuff. So keep in mind that you should have something able to work for it. Just watch out for these field effects as they can do various things to mess with you. The good news is, basically, your new command code that you guys got from Tunguska, hopefully, does have a... Sorry, not command code, Mystic Code. The new Mystic Code that you guys got from Tunguska does have a cleanse on its 2nd skill that cleanses all offensive debuffs. So it will get rid of stuff like this. Again, it should be really nice for you guys. So that's going to make it so you don't necessarily have to take a cleanser as long as you're okay. But it should be a really good thing for you and allow you to easily just sort of only deal with it when you have to. You may not have to use Plug Suit. You may just want to be using it because it's the only Mystic code you have to level. But again, just putting that out there that the new Neo Plug Suit that comes out of the Tunguska epilogue will allow you guys to basically easily cleanse this without taking another unit. Again, I hope this got this was informative for you guys. You guys can see undead damage will help out against him. He is considered undead for this particular variant. And you will have bonus units as well that'll be pretty good, including like Estrella, as we mentioned. So there are numerous ways you guys can get through this. I hope this was an informative sort of read through of the event for you guys, but it's basically all there is to it. It's just a nice, easy, chill mission event. There will be a raid 6 days in, so keep that in mind and stay tuned. We will be going over the Hephaestion and Gray units for our upcoming videos. I'll see you guys for that one. Good luck on your rolls, and good luck with the Barbados farm. There you go, chat. Nice and easy. Cleanse me, I'm holy. Wait, you're Holly? I didn't realize you had a sex change power. Is Simi Reigns a meta support unit? She absolutely can be. It's weird. It's weird to determine like whether or not you would call someone like them meta. And the reason I say they can be is because you can absolutely use them in any of the metas and they work. So it's like they're just sort of like trying to think of the term for it. Like they work with all card types. They're all rounders, if you will. The hardest part will be to find the lowest button presses. That's true. That's my ultimate goal, is laziness, as always. Chat, for anyone that ever wonders, like there's basically like 2 sets of guides that I ask Avalon for. Like Avalon works with me on like, you know, producing actual guide content, and then like there's that like day of discussion where I go like, okay, but how can I do this in as minimal button presses as possible? And I like sit there and I talk with Avalon about that. Yeah, how can I be more lazy? Because like a lot of the times I have overkill for requirements. Like for instance, chat, you'll see scenarios where it's like, oh god, I'm scared of what I'm gonna see here in the comments. You'll see comments where it's like, hey, maybe you need like an NP1 or an NP3 of Estrella to kill the raid. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. I have NP5. So it's like a lot of the times I'll have a higher NP level, and then it's like, okay, what button presses can I back out? Like, what do I not need to press now? So it becomes a like reverse engineering laziness edition. I do more work to do less work. This year we have Buddy Rank and Valentine. Oh, that's true, yeah. How worth is the Barbados raid? Well, the Barbados raid gives, well, these materials. Like I said, some people will absolutely want to farm the crap out of Barbados. Other people will not. He's not going to drop everything, I believe. Like, I think a lot of people are going to look at this, but this isn't the specific one. Because remember, there is a specific variant to the Lady Rain's case files. So like I said, I don't believe he drops all that stuff, but he does drop definitely some nice stuff. I need so many bones, yep. Keep in mind, like, usually the best way to get, like, bulk, like, bronze materials isn't going to be from a raid, it's going to be from lotto boxes. But yeah, like, here's where I'm going to say this raid is probably worth it to you. It's not, I need bones. That ends up not being that worth, right? It's usually, I need bones, and I need, like, some other material, or multiple other materials. That's usually where you get bang for your buck from raids, when you need multiple things. Good night, thank you for the 7 months. Appreciate it, my man. Momon, thank you for the follow. Raid is further up. Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. Hold on. Yeah, okay, there you go. My bad. My bad. I was looking at the wrong one. There you go. Yeah, so okay, he drops a lot more than I thought. In that regard, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna tell you flat out, like, you don't often get a good lucrative farm of Dragon Reverse scales. I am telling you this as someone 2 years into the future on JP chat. Dragon Reverse scales were a year one material. They are not given out very often anymore. So, like, for those of you guys that are behind, a lot of this is like year one shit. So, like, for someone like me, I need none of these materials. But for you, chat, for you. Also, I did believe I said incorrectly there. I'll have to go try to edit that. But I did believe I said that that you could complete the event off of this, and I don't think you can because it's a mission event. So I'll have to find where I said that in the video, and unfortunately, YouTube edited it out. Yeah, it doesn't drop anything for the event, and even if it did, you still have missions you have to do, chat. So. Everyone loved getting those demon hearts from Barbados. Yeah, that's why, like, I was sitting here going like, man, this is less than I remember, because I do remember him having demon hearts still. Because I remember so many people like splurged over him when he came back. I need as many as I can of all of those mats. Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, I think for newer players, Barbados Raid has a lot of value. For older, more veteran players, like especially the older you are, the less value Barbados has. Because like a lot of these materials have been like used in lottos and such. Listen, I have 1,000+ bones, but my past trauma tells me I still need more. Listen, chat, you can get out of the bone zone. People want to say you can't get out of the bone zone, but you can. That's even better for the mats I needed? Yes. And you will get QP from this too. So, for those of you guys that like either didn't do a lot of lotto boxes or farming during the raids, or you just maybe already used all of the QP, boom, more QP right there. Boom. You know, I know someone that's gonna farm this a lot, and he's right there in chat. Named Faith on VT. I have the strange suspicion that he will farm this a lot. Yeah, gonna become Farmthon VT. But a day, it lasted more than 24 hours in JP. Yeah. Yep, for anyone that was asking. I can confirm. I'm an intermediate player, been playing NA since day one, and I still in Bone Zone and Dust and Fang Hill. Yeah, a lot of it, like getting out of the Bone Zone and like Dust Hills and stuff like that, usually boils down to like farming at the right times, and a lot of it can depend on like the units that you have, and like if you're someone that rolls a lot of units but you don't farm a lot, you'll have that hell. If you're someone that farms a lot but doesn't roll a lot of units, you won't have that hell. So it really just depends on like where you are in that scale. Something to note is the raid isn't demonic, it's demon though. Oh, see, you should have told me. You know what? You'll have to make a guide now. But yeah, no. So again, I do remember there being that. So like, it is undead, but it's not demonic. Hilariously enough, like I said, I'm pretty sure you can get Gray to kill this. She has so much damage bonus in the event. Yep. I tend to roll more banners than I need to. That's just because you like units. Dragon Fang is one of my lowest requirements, was blocking me on most units. The dimming with you. Instead got Super Orion. I mean, for an alt account, you can solo a lot of stuff with Super Orion, so that's not a bad pickup if you didn't have him. Also, what the hell is a white item from the panel missions? Well, there's some things that count, Faye, but if you really want to be lazy with it, just go into Training Grounds and get a silver statue. It counts as a white item. Managed to get Dante's and Melt. Melt's still a really good one. I mean, Dante's could be a farmer for you, but Melt's absolutely a boss killer. I don't know why, Faye, but every single time you use Matara's emote there, I swear it's a Tectone emote. Every single time. I have to, like, hover over it and look at it, and then I'm like, oh, it's not. And the only reason why, like I even look at it is because, like, Faye is, like, the epitome of someone that I wouldn't think would be, like, watching Tectone. Resident Tectone fan, yeah. Dantes does have an upgrade early on in A2. Yes, that's true. He does. So he's already got his charge skill, which is really, really nice. Curiously, red item doesn't include bones. Yeah, I don't know why. Like, maybe it's considered a black item or something like that. Or maybe it's just not. Like, because they know everyone wants bones. Listen, Rama. I'm not going to judge you. You're allowed to like who you want. I love Matara. She plays Warhammer games. Oh, I've never seen him before. I have no idea who the streamer is. If you need gold red drops from the missions, do a run of the Training Grounds gems count. Yep. There's usually easy ways you guys can, like, actually manage to get through and do this stuff. And it usually ends up being not that big of a deal. Did that? Why is that? Oh, that's why that's not. Next time for Fangs farming, can't skill up any of my saber faces. I don't know. I don't know when they're in a lotto. Like, there's a problem that happened, Chad, is I used to always know. I'll know after we do the full-blown banner review. But, like, oh man. JP has, like, thrown me for a loop. Like, I used to know upcoming banners by heart. That's not a thing anymore. I just tell you guys that there is a banner upcoming for the unit. Because odds are I'm right at this point. The reason why is because JP, like, doubled the amount of banners it runs. Like, it went crazy. So it's like, I used to be able to keep track of them all in my head. Nowadays, it's not really even worth it. And as long as your units are getting, like, reruns every year, it becomes more about, like, knowing the win of each one. But at least at that point, like, you're confident that there is a rerun. I think the biggest issue isn't the 5 stars at that point, it's the 4 stars. The 4 stars are the ones that we're like, man, I don't know if they get a rerun. Most important banner of the year in 3 months, Ishtar and Erish. Who? This is the year everyone gets a banner. Yeah, this year, I think everyone except Benny Enma gets a banner, and Benny Enma just had one before the year began. So, you guys should be good. Next year, not everyone has gotten a banner in 2023. Do we know the final tally, Avalon? Like, I remember you were keeping track of that. But I don't remember how many people got the shaft in the end. Skip everything, only Arc matters? Oh, wow. What if I told you to skip Arc? What if I told you didn't have to have Arc? I rolled for Salter today. Got a Daeon spook, of course. Oh, naturally. Naturally. Does Dalter get her costume this year? She does have her costume on JP, but I don't remember when I got it. It may be this year. I think it was. There were like 8 that didn't get it this year. Okay. Actually, you should check the New Year's banners, Avalon, because some of them may be in it. Fellow turtle. But I must have her? That's fine. How can I skip Arc if I want a 100 Shufu day 1? Damn, you wild. Why not 120? I don't have enough pity for Dear Bride banner coming up, but I hope I get her. I hope you get her too. I'm skipping Arc. I don't want her at all. That's fine. Look, chat. You'll always. People will think I'm being contrarian, and a little bit I am, but not really, right? Like, you'll just always see me counter any sort of mentality, and you guys are gonna have to get used to this. That like every time someone starts like really trying to hype Arc or like Ibuki Berserker. Those are probably the twoest big ones this year. The two biggest ones this year, not the twoest big ones. The two biggest ones this year that like everyone's being like, you must roll. And you're gonna see me over and over again this year be like, you don't have to. And the reason I'm saying that is I'm trying to be the voice of reason in the community. You can absolutely play the game without those units and be perfectly fine. Absolutely. Right? And I know this because I've played without Ibuki Summer. I've had Arcuid for a lot of things. But like, I'm telling you right now, there have been plenty of times this has happened throughout the years. Like it was Melisson before that, chat. And I didn't have Melisson on JP for like 2 years. So the whole point is, yeah, you can absolutely play the game without certain units. Like I said, the closest thing you ever get to a must-have are the meta supports, and they're still not must-haves. It's like jerking off with sandpaper if you're trying to play the game without any of them, but you can play the game without any of them. You were looking at the beautiful and also approaching Summer Scotty. So you'll hear me try to make the case for Summer Scotty. One, because she's bookended between two other really big people. And two, because I think a lot of people downplay her usefulness. But I will blatantly go ahead and say, like, you don't have to have Summer Scotty. You were missing 11 SSRs for the raid ups. Okay. But that's all I'm trying to say. Please don't take it as like me shitting on your favorite unit. Like if your favorite unit's Arcuid or your favorite unit is Ibuki Summer, please understand it's just me trying to calm the community down, because every single time someone comes in and says that you have to roll those units, I'm gonna absolutely be like, no, you don't. And the whole reason I'm going to is just to set a good example for the rest of chat. Self-reliant Scotty comp coming in handy though? Yeah. Waiting for Button Toria banner in the pre-any campaign? My man! Like the only ones I could see the arguments or must-haves are Castoria and Oberon, and even then you can manage. Yeah, I don't think you have to have anybody in the game. I think there's just like the meta supports have the strongest argument because they make the game the easiest for you, and they're so meta, they basically support everyone, right? Like, at least everyone of their card type in most of those cases. But like, I don't know, right? I'm a big proponent of like, y'all don't have to roll. And I'll try to make the case for why you should roll a unit every single time I do unit analysis. But you'll also hear me on like super popular units being like, hey, by the way, don't feel like you have to. Because I think it's important to have someone out there that says that. I think if you go watch probably just about every other content creator, most of them are going to be like, roll, right? I try to be like that sane guy. That guy that's like, hey, by the way, I know you don't have money. I know you're a broke-ass mofo. I understand. It's fine. You don't have to roll, right? Like, and it's nothing against you. It's just the case of, I understand, real life sucks. Sent you the missing SSRs? Okay. X are the ones that got a rate up with Xmas or New Year's. Okay. So Abby didn't get a rate up, Bryn didn't get a rate up, Sherlock didn't get a rate up, Ishtar didn't get a rate up. Kiara Alter Ego didn't get a rate up. Musashi Berserker didn't get a rate up. Think we all know where that one's happening. Super Ryan didn't get a rate up. Yang didn't get a rate up. Charlemagne didn't get a rate up. Young Mori Ruler didn't get a rate up. That's interesting because both those are Trom. Same thing with Sherlock. So there's probably going to be something Trom remembrance or specific that's going to lump all three of them. And then Arcuede hasn't had a rate up. I mean, you could technically put Draco on here too, but I digress. Hey, rulers are good, Cyrus. I think Ibuki is so strong, and with the 90++ stuff, the game is urging you to put your resources into one strong unit. Okay, Blue. I don't know how to say this. I don't want to offend you, right? Like, I'm dead serious. Like, I'm trying to be like as calm as possible about this. But please understand, like, 90++ doesn't matter. Like, I have to say this at this point, that 90++ is great in like a lotto if you can pull it off, but pulling it off is like 6 slot. Okay? Otherwise, at that point, it's a whole lot of work and a whole lot of extra NP levels for what amounts to the same efficiency. 5 slotting the 90++ basically ends up being the same as 6 slotting the 90+. So it's kind of weird, but like, it doesn't actually matter. And then like you get outside of a lotto and you get into like less timed events, 90++, it doesn't matter if you 3-turn it or not. Like you don't have to use it. So that's the argument I'm trying to make, because I see people try to like push Ibuki on people all the time. And it's not just Ibuki, like it's Arcuede as well. And you're gonna see that with numerous other units throughout time, right? But that's the big point I'm trying to make. Is like none of this is actually required. And at the end of the day, I don't think it's very responsible of me to encourage the community to spend more money just because the devs have put harder content in the game. If that makes any sense. Because the harder content, in a weird way, doesn't really equate to more efficiency. Like, it can, but only if you can do that 6 slot. Would Ibuki help you do the 6 slot? Yeah, absolutely. But, like, at NP1, fuck no. No, you're looking at multiple MP levels at that point. So it's like, you can tell someone, don't roll anything else other than Ibuki, and you can do that, but, you know, that's going to be a really fast route to an NP, sorry, not an NP, a Bond 15 Ibuki, and then at that point, you're basically Bond bricked, and you're not getting any more Bond from that unit. So I think it's also a big reason to just have a wider account rather than going tall. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm trying to, like, let people understand that you don't have to cave to the community's pressure and the hype for a popular unit. Because that's what a lot of it boils down to. Usually, a lot of the hype boils down to, hey, this unit is strong, but also, I really like this unit, and I want everyone else to get it too. And that's kind of where a lot of it comes. Been curious since Draco came out, but our Foreigner class in a weird spot. No, I think Foreigner's fine. I think Foreigner's doing a lot better now with the inclusion of Pretender into the game. Because it gives them another class that they're actually advantageous against instead of themselves. Granted, we don't fight that many Pretenders. But having A3 locked behind an extra quest like Oberon and Draco are, doesn't bother me. I think it's a spoiler reason and I'm A-okay with it. My summer Ibuki is close to Bond 14. Yeah, I think this sort of just naturally happens to people. Is they get really stuck on one unit and they use the unit over and over and over again. I'm guilty of this with Saberface, right? But I think in a lot of degrees, I think some people basically will just use the unit into the ground. Space Ishtar is a great example of this. Like for like, you know, at least a year after she came out, everyone's like, oh, just Space Ishtar, just Space Ishtar, right? And I think like one, the game gets really boring when you do that. Two, you eventually end up bond bricked. And three, it's generally not going to be good when that one unit, for some odd reason, just doesn't work. So, like, again, I think there's numerous reasons to go for having wider. I think it's still a fair height. I think Ibuki is a strong unit. Don't get me wrong. But I'm going to give everybody in chat reasons not to roll for her because of that. Because I think the pressure outside of this channel is going to be that strong. Right? Like, that's why. That's why, like, if people are going to feel like I'm being contrarian for contrarian's sake, it's because I'm, if anything, trying to counter the mantra of you must roll, you must roll, you must roll. That is going to be happening outside of this. Because again, chat, I don't have a Buki on JP. I'm still fine. And I have done all the 90 plus pluses. Still gonna NP2 plus her on my NA because she's hot. Go for it. Right? Like, you're not, don't let me discourage you from rolling if you want to roll. I'm just gonna give everybody reasons not to, should they, you know, need that out, right? And when it comes time to do her video, I will extol her virtues. I'm stuck with Vitch for farming, so she gets a lot of bond. Yeah, I think this is an issue going forward. Like, not having bond 20 is gonna become I think it's gonna become a point of aggravation for the community. I want to save up my Saint Court, so who would be better unit to roll for, Scotty or Summer Scotty? Well, that's a good question. I think Summer Scotty at the end of the day is going to be the better option for most people, but I think there's nothing wrong with having both. I think I've made it at least somewhat clear as to why having both is good. Yeah, I mean, I think the big issue is, like, again, kind of like we're talking about, like, Ibuki and Proto Merlin and such. Like, is there someone else you want to roll for at Summer that, like, you don't trust yourself to be able to save for multiple units at a time? So thank you, Katana. Yeah, and I say this, chat. I'm perfectly capable of hyping like big like meta supports when they come, but even then I try to make the case for like what it will be like to have them and what it will be like not to have them. Porque no los dos, sí. If you're playing for favoritism, go right ahead. Just don't hug the meta too much. That's something I've been guilty of. Yeah, I think hugging the meta, you know, it's fine. It's a meta for a reason. But I think there will naturally be problems with that. And, like, one of those just could be like, oh, hey, your favorite unit just doesn't work. Chat, there are times NP5 Summer Ibuki has not worked. And it's the same thing with, like, NP5 Space Ishtar, NP5 Melisson, NP5 anything, right? Like, there is a point where the node just counters what you're trying to do, and that becomes a problem. But, like, I can certainly understand the viewpoint of having a having somebody that's like Omni, right? Like having somebody that covers a lot of your bases, especially for early accounts. I think that really helps them get their feet under them and sort of like work on the rest of their account. But I think that's always the end goal, is to have multiple. Will MP1 of Summer Ibuki do comparable damage to NP3 Space Ishtar? I don't know that off the top of my head. I'd have to go look. I'd have to go look at the actual numbers. Like, Probably, because one of those is effective in almost all situations. But it's only 150% effectiveness. Sorry, Valda, you got censored by the bot. Does Arteria Caster come back? Yes. Yeah, she'll be back at 25 million downloads campaign sometime in May. Do you think we get enough for pity for that banner? Between now and May? If you log in every day, if you do all of your weekly missions, if you like keep working on like Bond and doing like strengthenings and interludes and free quests, yes, absolutely. Yes. Even if you don't have strengthenings and interludes and free quests to get courts off of, usually you can probably save up about that much in 5 months. Like, assuming you're starting with nothing from right now. Because remember, tickets count too. How do you feel about Tez? Ooh, so Tez is an interesting unit, because Tez was a unit that when he first came out, everyone shat on him because they didn't like his art. Then he, like, jumped the shark, and suddenly everyone was like, Tez is the best unit ever. And I was like, no, he's not. Like, and I say that conclusively. Tez is not the best unit. That being said, I don't really want to get into an argument of who the best unit is. But it was wild to me to like watch people like completely go like polar opposite all of a sudden. Tez is good. He's really good because he's got that charge and because of kind of his entire kit just works real well. That being said, like I don't understand people like suddenly going like, oh my god, I hate him, to like, oh my god, he's the best thing ever. It is what it is. I think that's typical knee-jerk reactions from the community. But he is a good unit. And yeah, I think a lot of it's like the Woo meme and stuff. Like people just... I think people liked him in story. I still don't know much about that guy. Good, you shouldn't. Not until he comes to today. And his art is nice. His art is like mangaka style. It's like old like pastel like oil painting style. And I think it's fine, but I think like a lot of people find it jarring alongside a lot of the digital art that's in FGO. And I understand that. Like I'm not going to shit on it, but I understand why people find it jarring. Reminds me of watercolor. Yeah. Remember, Valks is the reason I won't roll Tez. Yeah, that too. I think you do immediately get a really good like welfare assassin that kind of like right before Tez comes out just is good. Similar to our random Danganronpa character. Yeah. Who is the worst art and why is it Cleo? Oh, I don't think it's Cleo. I don't think Cleo has the worst art. This is what, banner 2 of LB7? Yes? Question mark? Like, it kind of depends. Like, LB7's weird, because it depends on what you consider an LB7 unit. Worst art is Eric Bloodaxe. You dare insult the man with the bloody axe? I'll have you know that Eric Bloodaxe is famous for having a blood axe. Okay. Like, you best watch yourself around his bloody axe. I just love that Eric Bloodaxe's, like, entire lore is just, he has a bloody axe. Like, that's it. Like, it does not elaborate. He has a bloody axe. Why is he a servant? He has a bloody axe. And he's named Eric. Okay? So you best be careful around him. He spins to win, you don't fuck about. Yeah. I think people that are used to like Danganronpa art style are fine with it, but I think again, it's like a similar issue where I can see why people find it jarring. Whose blade is that? Could be yours. Watch your mouth. Oh, whose blood? Okay. He's Iron Hands from Warhammer 40k all over again? Yes. Man, I forgot he was in the game. I'll never forget seeing the meme of what is it, like Loki from Endgame, where he's like locked in prison and he's like, "Oh, you must be pretty desperate to need me." And it's that, but it's Eric Bloodaxe's face. Where he's like, yeah, he is. He's like one of the most forgotten about units. It's like, oh, you must be desperate to need me. Can't wait to see the larger NA community's reaction to the Pokemon twins. That'll be an interesting one. Ugh. I do understand that that's also a, like, somewhat weird design choice. But okay, chat. I believe it is time to die. What? What do you mean it's time to die? It's time. Give me 1 second, chat. Hi, Mom. Hi. I didn't realize that was your mother. Let's give him some love. 4-star archer that throws axes, right? Okay, chat. Y'all wanted to see Conan. So Conan, if you guys have never seen it before, is a like survival game. It caught some flack last year because it added a battle pass to it. I myself have criticized its battle pass. I actually, like, low-key don't like it because of that. Hold on. What does enable streaming mode do? I don't know, but we're gonna turn it on. Well, no, I suspect that's just, like, nameplates and stuff. Alright, yeah, up here. I just need to switch this section to none. Did Cad find my jungle home? No, but I did hear they got you. So, chat, this is the reason that, like, Trubs didn't stream. Okay? So, we have a server that I run on my computer. Because somehow my computer is strong enough to handle running this and running a Conan server. Philicide, thank you for the follow. Also, I believe there are Twitch drops for this. The mods have changed just over. Okay. Well, anyways, oh god, that spawn. Like I said, it's a survival game. My character looks a lot prettier than this, chat. There you go. Okay. And you can see there's my aptly named horse. And then here is our base, as chat likes to call it, Cadmelot. And here is slightly disgruntled Bjorn. I found him. He was trapped in a horn, and I put him on the roof here. Okay, and anyways, we're in the process of building the castle here. John, oh, it's just like the best hairstyle for females. But essentially, you can have a lot of stuff, sort of, in Conan. Conan's a very, like, well thought out game. I also have the Shrine to the Golden Man, complete with stripper on top. Okay? And, like, I go around and I bonk people and I feed the shrine. And, like, it gives me, like, mystical stuff that I can build, like a glowy statue, like, over here. Oh, hey, chat. Look, it's a hobo. It's some kind of hobo. Let me see. Oh, look, chat. Look who it is. It's our resident mod, Boblin. And there's various other people that are here in-game with me. I believe the server has most of VIP at this point. We end up having Ashuramir, Aurelia's me, Boblin, Danger Creamy, Darty, that's Faye, that is Trubs, that is Steve, that is Prophet, and I've heard AP exists somewhere on this server now. If you guys wish to join, you can. The only thing I'm gonna ask is it is a PvE server at the moment, so like, just don't like wall off resources, because like, I'm pretty sure my man Trubs down here, like somewhere in like this quadrant, built a fucking bridge to like dam the entire river. So just like, be careful. So when are you gonna gather all my building mats? Hold on, Bob. Anyways, I sleep under the stairs in Bob's like base over here, because Bob built the Thunderdome, as we call it. Because Bob wanted to tear down my keep, because like what I did, chat, we're all the way up here by New Asgard. You always start like down here in the south. By the way, I don't know if the Steam sale is still going on, but this game's like on sale. You don't need any of the DLC if you're gonna play on our server, because anyone that has the DLC can build all of the DLC cosmetics for you. And I have all the DLC, so like, if you ever need anything, just ask. We can always build stuff for you. If you're ever curious as to how stuff looks, just go look it up on the wiki. But like, again, like I said, you guys are more than welcome to come in. The server is just an explosion, and then like, well, just DM like Bob or someone for the password. You start at J2. You can start at like any of these quadrants actually. Like you can start at J2, I2, H2, G2, F2, E2, D2. Like it kind of just goes along there. But anyway, so like we ran all the way north, and like I think the very first thing I did was like just book it up like basically up here into the north, and then just like came and started my base. Because that's what I do whenever I start a new on Conan, is like I know how to survive up here, even though it's more difficult for like a level 1, and so that just allows me to do things. But this game is not like PC, and what do I mean by that? Well, I mean like you have to collect companions, and one of the ways in which you collect companions is by going clubbing, as I like to call it. So like, basically everybody that you see here, these are NPCs that I clubbed. And also anyone wearing underwear like this chick is completely naked normally. Unfortunately, we can't see this content on stream, chat. Thanks, Twitch. Anyways. No, Bob's using non-PC terms. So like, for instance, we have several other Nordheimer fighters that are waiting, because if chat denotes in typical Skyrim fashion, I've named my clubbing companion here Lydia. Unfortunately, I'm on Lydia version 9, so like I already have like prepared Lydia versions 10, 11, and 12, just because it's probably gonna be a thing, right? And so anyways, like I can show you how the combat works. It's actually a very like active combat system. Let me make sure I have enough here. I probably need to repair this, but we should be okay. Wait, Lydia, you coming? She does have a truncheon. Truncheons are what we use to quote-unquote club. Ooh, that reminds me. So this game also has a really robust and tiered crafting system. So like, basically you have crafting benches like the blacksmith bench here, and the people that you club, the people that your thralls, if you will, that you put on here, give like different recipes that they can craft. They speed up the crafting, so it's actually really nice. So it's one of the better systems in a survival game that I've ever seen for stuff like this, and I've seen a lot of other games try to copy Conan's version of it, which honestly, I judge all our survival games by how they handle it in similarity to Conan, because Conan, to me, does it the best out of a lot of them. So wait, what was I gonna do here? Oh, right, yeah, so I need to, not him, I actually need to craft a better truncheon. See, we have steel truncheons now, chat. We are ascending in terms of our capability. Oh no, he took all of my steel. Oh no, do we have more steel? Oh no. I'm pretty sure I had him just craft up a ton of steel reinforcements, so I don't think he has any more steel. We're gonna keep him on that, but I'm gonna steal some of the steel fire here. Maybe like 50 of it, just to craft me some more steel bars. Odds are I probably have this, but I want a little bit of extra. Wait, is that actually working? Yes, okay, it's crafting steel. We have a dismantling bench, so you can like recycle stuff, and I was gonna say there's probably steel in here. We're gonna go ahead and grab that just for speeding this up. Gonna go ahead. Oh look, I can make the chain bindings now too. That's excelente. Gonna basically make 2 steel truncheons. In fact, I will do everybody on the server a favor, and I'm gonna make a 3rd here so that whoever wants it can come claim it. Yeah, absolutely. You guys should definitely join. Like I said, we have a blast with this all the time, and Conan actually like has a decent end game. They've added a lot of stuff since the battle pass that, like, regardless of whether or not you do the battle pass, it's funding the game's development, and they're now like actually doing good stuff with it, and they're able to, like, you know, implement new features. So like now they've changed what used to be called like purge raids on your base. They used to be just this like bar that would fill up over time from you doing stuff, but you couldn't like control when it triggered. So now you can control when they trigger. So it becomes like a castle defense, like or tower defense type thing. And there's also now, as of this most recent update, a new PvE siege. So somewhere out in the world there is a city that you can create like siege weapons and go siege down as if you were playing PvP, without having to play PvP. So it's really cool. I actually really like it. Okay. There, I've made those 2. I think the only other thing I need to do is I need to run over here to the Tinker's bench. And I need to see... okay, so maybe I need the weapon knowledge, if it's still under here. I don't know if it is. I have a hard time finding certain things. Okay, apprentice weaponsmith. Unlock that. And unlock that. And so this should give me advanced blunted weapon fitting. I need 10 hardened steel bars. That's easy. Oh, would you look at that, chat? I have 200 hardened steel. I'll even craft another one for someone that wants a spare. So you can see, like, this is with a blacksmith too, and this craft going pretty slow. I could speed it up in the server settings if I wanted to, but I kind of want to, like, leave it realistic. It's kind of the benefit of having good thralls, is that they make stuff craft a lot faster. Because if you don't have a thrall, let me tell you, it is not a fast experience to craft any of this. Okay, so then I just take that, drag it onto my weapon, and now it has... basically what this does is it increases the amount of concussive damage that I do. So, we club harder, chat. And honestly, the concussive damage seems to be pretty solid now, so... I'm just gonna leave this here. I only need the second one to complete. Oh, that reminds me, I need to get my chain, chat. So the chain is how I drag people back to the Wheel of Pain, and you guys will get to experience the Wheel of Pain. Okay, so I've got that. I'm gonna give that to Lydia. Now Lydia has increased capability of bonk, as I call it. Go ahead and throw that on there. And so now both me and my companion have a truncheon. And truncheons, as I said, are used for clubbing people. Clearly here is Ash, trying to stream snipe right here, but it's okay. See, we just walk up to him, we kick him, and then we run off. So then we like run up here, and basically part of the reason I chose this base location up here in the north, it is central to quite a bit of like good spawns for like thrall camps. These are basically like enemy NPC faction camps and stuff, where they're just kind of like in the area, and thus I wish to like be able to farm them. So for instance, here's one right here. This should be a Nordheimer 2 fighter. I recognize her because her gear's the same as normal. And you can see, just to give you an idea, there you go. Oh my god, Lydia is just wailing on her. And already unconscious, so that's the power of my new truncheon. So that made that look easy. And then basically, if I want her, I pick her up, attach the chain to her, and I just drag her. I drag her back to base. And you can see she just ragdolls hilariously behind me the whole way. And so it can become quite a fun thing. It's actually even funner if I'm in admin mode and I'm flying, because they just start like helicoptering. That's how you get waifus? Yes, chat. Yes, this is how you get waifus in Conan. It's still kind of a gacha system because it's random, but like, it's kind of like go out and find a friend type thing. I'm not going to risk that. We're actually just going to run through here, because last time I almost lost the companion, because Bob built the wall too high already. So anytime, if you're running with a chain like this, see, there you go, she's helicoptering now, chat. If you're ever running with a chain like this, anytime you swim or climb, you will drop the chain. And sometimes the person you're dragging falls through the world, which is really annoying. But so there you go. We put her on the thing. Now she's in the Wheel of Pain, able to push it. But because I have the thrall timer, this is one of the most annoying timers in the entire game. So because I have the thrall timer set so low, like I tweaked it on our server, like you basically don't see her push the Wheel of Pain at all. But yeah, that's basically how it works. Then you convert her into like a converted thrall in your inventory, and you can basically just like set her anywhere, like we've done with this dude. This dude is Ash's boyfriend. You told me to build in the worst spot of the entire valley. What do you mean it's the best spot? It's literally the best spot. Yeah, so anyways, you guys can see we're converting from shitty sandstone into like tier 2 materials there. Ash is attempting to punch me, but I'm gonna get out my great sword. Skyrim type glitches, yes, gotta love it. But again, yeah, it's a very like active combat system. Every weapon, like each weapon type has unique moves. And even certain weapons within a weapon type have unique moves if they're like legendary or like higher up. Like they'll have unique properties and effects. Ash attempting to hit me, but there's no friendly fire on, so he can't.
Enemies approaching.
This is a Carpenter 1. I don't care about him. I don't need him. So you can see it gets kind of annoying, but I'm just gonna head chop him because he was at half health there. Oh damn, she already unconscious. Well, now oh god, I just beheaded her. Anyways, it's a kind of gruesome thing, so like be careful with that, chat. Conan is a gruesome game. It's just as brutal as well, Conan is. Ash stopped stream sniping, right? But it's also really cool because you can climb in Conan, and like one of the fast ways to like get down off of stuff is to just jump off of it and go back and like ledge grab the wall. And there's also like you get lore. It's almost Dark Souls-esque how you get the lore. It's not like told to you. It's just a very brutal game, and then you just like walk up to it and just go like, oh hey, here's this like runic tablet. And it like reads it to you. I don't know if you guys can hear that over the music. But it does have survival mechanics. You guys can see that up here in the top left I have water and food. So like I just drank from the water here. Conan's also really good because it's like, oh hey, see that? That's a rock you can pick up. And that is literally stone. Oh, see that? That's a tree that I can just literally go and cut, and it will give me logs, bark, resin, you name it. So, like, it's a very intuitive and nice system. There's a lot of, like, learning in the game, but the game does explain everything if you just take the time to, like, sit there and read it as it gives it to you. And they now have, like, journey steps that also help you. And like I said, there is a battle pass. You can safely ignore it. I'm only at level 11, and I, like, actually sat down one night and tried to power grind it. Like, using admin stuff. Like, I basically, whenever it told me, hey, go defeat lions, I just would spawn lions in God mode and try to do it. And, like, even after, like, a full night of, like, power grinding for several hours, I only got to level 10 out of 60. And so what it is like your first rewards for each, or your first mission for each day, give 10 times experience, but after you do these, none of them do. So, like, it really incentivizes you level it, or like logging it every day and doing the missions every day. I don't care. The battle pass stuff's not that big of a deal, and like I said, it's just even in and of itself, it's cosmetic stuff. Wait, I hear it. Where's their wolf? There is a lock-on system as well. And the game can be a bit of lag. I do like the two-handed attack here. Or sorry, not the two-handed attack, but the power attack. So there's light attacks and then heavy attacks for each weapon, and they can be really good. There's also archery. There's also mounted combat. Chat, let me show you mounted combat. Let me show you mounted combat. This game, like, out of all the games I've played with mounted combat, this game actually kind of does it the best, because the horse control is mostly realistic. Like, your horse actually has to, like, slow down and stuff to turn. So, like, it's really cool. Be wary of Lydia's attention? What do you mean? She's there. Corrupted wolf is near? Oh, don't worry, it's fine. I can kill a corrupted wolf. You'll see me often, like, suicidally jump off a cliff. There is fall damage, but if you're good enough at, like, ledge grabbing, you can kind of just hurl yourself off stuff and, like, catch it. Oh, I feel like that's a boblin. But yeah, chat, here you go. You steal Dun Stallion? Bobby's following you still. Bobby's following you. I don't think he hears because of the stream delay. There you go. Don't you hit Dun Stallion. I've got a bigger stick than you. So again, like I said, chat, you have mounted combat, so we have a full-blown lance here. No problem, King. He can be any class. Yes, I can be any class. So, like, let's see. Here's a wolf right here. I can see it. I'm going to lower the lance. I'm going to try to get it. And I missed. Wolf's a little low to the ground, so it's kind of difficult to actually hit it with that. You can see my horse does have a stamina bar. It depletes really fast. It does not come back very quickly. But the way your horse turns and operates is pretty realistic. No! Die! Okay, so that actually hit it. It got chunked for a good quarter of its health there. Oh my god, even slightly disgruntled Bjorn came. He was gonna kill that wolf. You can ride horses indoors as long as it's tall enough. And they are a faster means of getting around. They can also fight, but, like, you really don't want your horse to fight. If your horse fights, it gon' die. That's all I'm saying, chat. Because, like, in prior, like, games that I've played of Conan, like, you know how I have, like, 9 Lydias? I had, like, 6, you know, different variants of Dun Stallion and Lamre. And it was not fun. Let me actually see if I can find stuff. There is also Transmog. How many Dun Stallions are you up to? This is still the first one! He's managed to live this whole time. There have been situations where Lydia died and Dun Stallion lived. It's already happened like twice. Where I got back in time to save Dun Stallion, but not Lydia. Lydia died. Unfortunately, like, usually how your companion will die, it's both because they're low level or they're out of like food, because food is how they replenish. And then like a lot of times it'll be like, oh, you accidentally like pulled like 6 or 7 dudes and you just cannot get them out. There you go, I hit him. You can see it does decent damage. This is actually a really shitty lance. This is like the low level lance. I haven't crafted the better one. There you go. And you can do horseback archery. Got him. You can also use one-handers from horseback. Okay, so I'm pretty sure these are all unconscious. Are any of these guys good? Do I care about any of them? Blacksmith 3. You know what, chat? I'm gonna take the Blacksmith 3. And behold. Because you can mount on your horse and drag the dude. So, it is very Conan-esque. They capture the essence of Conan really well in this. I need an efficient homie. Trade you for a rank 3 smelter. A female rank 3 smelter. Matters, chat. Yep. You know what? Sure. Okay. Yeah, I haven't managed to find any rank 3 smelters, and it sucks. Oh, apparently I can't put them in from horseback. So, interestingly enough, did you doot my horn? Someone is dooting my horn, chat. I put a bunch of horns on the roof. Interestingly enough, you have to feed your thralls. You have to feed them gruel. And gruel is like, it's basically like vegetable soup, but like puree. It's like the worst stuff imaginable that you can eat. So anyways, now all of them have converted. So I got the fighter 2, I got the blacksmith 3. What a horny roof. Yes, it is a very horny roof. You can mount other things, like you can mount rhinos and such too. Let me put the fighter 3 down here. Oh, she got that side cut. She got that side cut, chat. Also, why are there dancers out here? Why are they, like, dancing a fucking Irish jig on the wolf's, like, corpse? They're supposed to go back inside, but I don't know. Don't judge the cultural preferences. I'm not. It's just very odd. All right, who dooted my horn? Who dooted? There he is. No, wait, no, that's curses. Yeah, chat, you can see I have multiple of the same special name thrall. There's tiers of thralls. There's like tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. And then there's named thralls. And normally named thralls have like special effects. But let me see, where's that saddler's bench? Here it is. So yeah, oh yeah, you can mount camels, chat. Cordovans, which I think are like half dog, half horse. I don't remember. Rhinos, and war horses. So yeah, there's quite a bit that you can mount. Anyways, we're gonna hop on Dun Stallion here. We're gonna go ride this over to Ash's base. Assert dominance on the wolf god? Oh, I can. I have a tier 3 smelter, but he's male? That's fine, I'll take it. I'll just replace him when I get a female. Which will happen at some point. Yeah, we have a lot of people on the server, and compared to how we were the last time we played Conan chat, this time we are not like oh god, I got thrown off. So yeah, sometimes if you try to take your horse off a cliff, you'll get thrown off like that. But compared to how we were last time we just had like a big clan and everybody built in the same base. This time we're a little bit more spread out. I've encouraged people to have their own bases and such, so you can see Ash is building on his own. And it's partially because I think it actually makes the experience more enjoyable. When everybody like groups up, they just rely on each other, and like the problem is people don't figure out like how to build the game. Dude, they all look like Ash. I can't tell which one is which. Oh, there he is. I don't think I can put him in that. Like, do you have a table I can put him on? And where's your blacksmith table? Yeah, here. I'll just dump him in here. There you go. And being on your own is the best way to learn. It is. You'll actually learn quite a bit. Smelter 2. Smelter 2. Where's the Smelter 3 at? Oh, in the wheel. Okay. Thank you. Pleasure doing business with you. Apparently I cannot mount him in here. Yeah, interestingly enough, Ash actually built on one of the locations that we have built on prior. Basically, this is a really good location up here on the ridge. The only issue is the wolves. Yeah, but they kind of fixed some of the leash ranges. But you can see here, there are also elevators. They're just, without mods, the elevators are like exceedingly slow, which is the biggest issue with using them. We have a lot of first timers too. Yeah, that's true. You guys don't have to feel intimidated. I have like 700 hours of Conan. So like, odds are I can either tell you the answer to your question, or I can tell you how to find the answer to your question. See, chat, this elevator's way too fucking slow. As you can see, they do exist. There's also horizontal elevators as well if you need to like cross stuff. Ash just jumped and slid down. There we go. There's a female smelter for you. And there is, like I said, there's transmogs. So like, if you guys, like for instance, I'm wearing the Vonnier set because I actually like the way it looks. But like, if you like a different set, you can transmog it over it. The only one I haven't seen so far is like, there is no way to like make your head visible. I guess like, there's gotta be something to the effect of like something that's like only like a circlet or something where it won't take up nearly as much. And I can show you guys that process. So you're saying these are Turian elevators? They're actually not. They're just elevators. But there are Turian build items in the game. Like, all of the Conan, like, civilizations are here, I think. At least, like, the biggest ones, I guess? I don't know. I haven't, like, read any of the Conan books or anything. I've watched, like, the old, like, 80s Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, and I've, like, you know, played this. But that's the extent of my Conan knowledge. Cad making Hyborian Age Jabba's Palace. Oh god. So, you see the problem with riding around at night? Especially up here where it gets like super dark. It's not easy, chat. Conan MMO back in 2007 was a blast for like 2 weeks. Yeah, sadly that was an MMO that like only lasted like a month. It was one of those like one and done MMOs for a lot of people. I never played it myself, but I heard people like at least like the style of it. Why can I not jump this? Bob, I need like just one set of stairs. Just one set of stairs over here. There we go. Add the barbarian? Yes. Stone is in the work chest. I logged out already. God damn, Bob just doesn't want to play. He only wants to go play Apex. What the hell? Oh wow, I just opened that supply crate for 1,000 iron. That's good. I need a shit ton of iron. No, I already killed myself in Apex? Wow, Bob's already going to bed. SMH. Yeah, let me see if there's some stone here that I can use. Oh, there is, thank God. It's probably like 30 or some crap. Yeah, this has been like bothering me for days. I've tried to like, I basically have to like hop over the edges and such. Oh, I do like this. So they changed it where now you have to build with a construction hammer. Didn't used to be the case, but I actually kind of like it a little bit more because now when you want to build something else, and it's like you can either go through the menu and find it, or if you already have it built, I can basically just press middle mouse button, like so over here on these stairs, and boom, now I'm building stairs. It's really nice that that is a thing. So like you can see right there, now I have a way to just like run up. End up putting all that in there. End up getting rid of that. No problem, merch. Worker's just a bitch and a half. I can tell. You seem like you came home late. What was I gonna do, chat? Or something else? Oh yeah, the transmog. So for instance, the new thaumaturgy bench. This is how there's magic casting in the game. I don't know if chat knew that. They added that to the game. And so, like, you have, like, a staff now that you can get. Let's see, I don't remember what it takes to cast, because I think you need, like, a reagent. You can see, like, I have 3 different options here. Part the Veil of Time and glimpse into the past, present, and future. Wield the forces of life, death, and undeath, or shape the raw forces of nature and reality itself. So we'll go with that one. So you can see, if I use a burlap pouch, I can actually form an ice bridge, which I will go ahead and do that for you guys. I have never cast a actual spell, because it does take that reagent. But I'll go ahead and do it just to show you guys the capability. Okay, so I think it was this one. And then this is the only spell I know, but boom. There you go, chat. I'm making an ice bridge. And it just slowly, like, arcs downward towards the ground. But basically, and it's a temporary bridge, but basically it would allow you to, like, easily cross gaps and such. So it's actually, like, a really powerful thing. Yeah, no, it's not permanent. Don't worry about that. I'm just waiting because I think it expires pretty quickly. There you go. See? Gone. So it lasts for about 30 seconds to a minute. Definitely long enough for like whatever you need to like cross it, but it's like it's pretty cool. I do like that they've added that. And there are more spells out there in the game. You just have to discover them. Like I have the spells that you get by default, but like magic casting is apparently a thing. So that's kind of awesome. Yeah, I'm just trying to look and see here if there's like oh yeah, so here you go, Chad. I could make myself a like skull mask for my character, but that would be kind of like terrifying. So I need to make light padding. Craft. Oh, is that like the epic version? Wait, can I craft the epic version? So I can see the epic version, but I can't craft the epic version. Why can I not? Do I have enough for armor? No, I'm like 4 levels away. Is what it is. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and craft it. I'll just make the non-epic version because it's just going to be cosmetic. But I also have no idea how it looks, so I want to craft one of it. This is like the caster set. We actually have a pretty good armor. It's an armor 3. That reminds me, I need to go put the thrall in here. That, when in doubt, only females. Sad. Have to get rid of a female. Okay, we'll get better smelters. If that was perm, I'd make you destroy it. Understandable. Where's my armor bench? You okay, Bjorn? What's going on? Okay, this is definitely a weird mask. Like, it makes me look like a bull. I am full of bullshit. Oh, there is also a dyeing system, if you guys couldn't tell. That's why Lydia's armor looked different than mine. So, for instance, you can make dye. And so, like, let me see if I can dye this piece in particular. Yes, I can. So, like, it's not even just like, hey, dye it, each thing. Like, you can actually pick which parts of the piece you want to dye. So, it's definitely nice in that regard, right? And, like, yes, even the top. So, like, if I wanted to make a garish, like, all purple helmet, I can do that. Like, and there's way too many dye choices. It's actually really awesome. Like, basically everything you guys can think of is a dye choice. Including just solid white and black. Let's see, so that wasn't a good helmet. I need to find something more befitting of me. If I could get, like, the gladiator. More skull masks. I like the black dragon helm. I can get a golden helmet. There's a headband. Oh my god, what is that? Chad, I can be a gimpy. There you go. There's your Terranian gear. Including, like, with the golden mask. I can have my, like, ninja face mask. I could have my Amurai helmets. But that's all armor options. Let me see. It may be a knowledge issue, chat. I may just need to unlock some of this. There's something in particular I'm looking for. ahead and grab that because I know we'll need it. Aha, finer metals. Artificer journey unlocked. Well, why don't we? Place or access a casting table. I believe I already have one. Craft a circlet mold. A what? And so you can see this is how the journey steps usually work. Okay, I got some iron. I didn't need all of that, but okay. You know what? Fine, just put it in here. Got the circlet mold. He's gonna take his hot seconds on that. Yeah, so here, like, this is basically what I was looking for. Is now I can like make circlets and such. Oh, chat, I can make myself a bejeweled loincloth. And I can transmog that. I can also make myself have a snake head. You know, in case I wanted to wear a snake on my head. Is Lydia with her, or with you? Because I see her here in my base if you need to find her. No. Lydia is not there. And that's weird, because I just ordered her to move. So hopefully she's moving now. I have no idea why. 3 gold bars. Damn, there's only 2 gold bars in there. We got a gold bar, gold bar, gold bar, gold bar, gold bar, gold bar. Oh look, a gold bar. Boom. Bonk. Give me my bejeweled circlet. Oh, it wants me to craft an iron circlet. What the hell? Oh, that counted. What? Okay. Craft a die. No, don't make me do things. Okay, blue die. That's fine. Go, craft a die. Die a piece of... This step is being really annoying. Anyways. Let's see how it works. Yeah, there you go. See, this looks so much nicer. It's hardly even noticeable. Not my character. Just gave her, like, earrings and shit. So anyways, the whole point is, I can now, like, put this in here, and this gives me source stats. So basically, the item I want stats from. Okay? And then... boom. The item I want the appearance to be. And the only requirement is that they must be similar items. So, like, it has to be the same slot. Right? Like, I can't put my Zamoran dancer skirt on my hat. It's not gonna work. So, like, boom. Unable to apply visual illusion. The source stats item is damaged. So, basically, just because it's alright, Armor Smith. Go to repair it. There you go. It's an easy repair. There you go. So, like, this is a way to, like, basically turn my helmet off without actually having an option to turn my helmet off. And now I have it. It's La Illusion. And you can see, now I can always see my character, which is nice. I like it. So there is a, like, roundabout way to doing that. Interestingly enough, I've not tried to dye an item like this before. So let me see. Can I dye this? Yes. Okay, and it dyes the illusion. Interesting. I'm just gonna dye the gem color because, like, that's deep and easy. I don't have to worry about it. It's not gonna change much of anything. There you go. And that completed my journey step. And once you complete it, you can see, like, I got silver jewelry as a reward, so I just go up here and claim the reward. I don't know if it actually puts it in my inventory. Doesn't look like it does. I just think it makes, like, an option for crafting probably at the casting table. Yeah, there you go. There's, like, a whole new set of, like, silver circlet and stuff like that. That's kind of awesome. I actually really like that. Anyways, really, really cool system. Legend says a woman never really played an online game. It's all just dudes and female characters. Yes. You don't remember the evil overlord list? Never turn yourself into a snake? Oh, I know. Grubs found me naked, thirsty, and afraid, stripped to nothing, giving me clothes off his back, then disappearing into the wild. Oh, listen, you should see me when I come down there to come see you. In fact, let me be right back. Also, AP, where are you in the world? Like actually in the world? I just had to be right back because I'm typing things. You're in like L5? L5, huh? Oh damn, you were in the jungle. Like whereabouts in L5? Oh hi Lydia. Well, shit. Now we are definitely in the jungle. Let me see if I can find him. So anyways, yeah, there's definitely multiple biomes. There's the highlands where we were. There's snowy north, the jungle, like the prairie slash desert. And that's kind of it. I actually wish, because like this game's been out for several years now, and they've never added to this area over here, and I wish they would. Oh, whoops! Did I switch screens? My bad, chat. So they've never added to like this area over here, and I wish they would. How's the survival in this game? Hunger, thirst, and stuff like that. I mean, you can see from where you guys were viewing me before, chat. Like, it's not really that bad. Like, it's we are basically like I've lost about 40% of my hunger and like 20% of my stuff, but I also have a trait that like makes me lose it less. And the more time you spend inside of shelter, the slower it loses it. And like on an online server, you can be logged out and you won't lose any hunger or thirst. Something tells me AP is not here. Something tells me AP is not here. It looks nice. It is. It's great. I highly recommend it. Like I said, if you enjoy survival games, you'll love Conan. Now, it's got some jank where, like, combat will annoy you at certain times, but it's mostly because of, like, server latency and, like, things will just skip on you and, like, if it happens at the wrong time, you can die. Most of the time, as long as you're of level, you should be okay. But, like, I'm gonna tell you flat out, the big thing to watch out for is people, like, enemy NPCs wielding two-handers. Be careful of that shit. 3 of my friends have it? Nice. I think AP gave me the wrong coordinates. In the mountain? Did I just kill them, Chad? Easy? Yes. But look, chat, like, when I show up, like, just sitting here like this, it is terrifying. Okay, so more south, so like over here. My favorite is like it just floats and rotates the items. Oh, is the online co-op a server with everyone or just a private one with friends? It's a private one with friends, but we can give people the password. Like, the only reason we have it privatized is just so that there's not, like, griefers and stuff that come on. But it is absolutely online accessible. We're hunting The anime paladin. The mini panthers. He's logging in just so you can blink to him. He needs to, because like he doesn't have any semblance of a base. AP's base do not exist. See a Shazbot up there. Where's Prophet's base? Up here, I think. I don't know if I've seen Prophet's base. But usually, like, I don't like teleporting around too much, because it's basically cheating. And I've done it a couple of times, like, for when the game absolutely screwed me. And otherwise, the only other time I really use it is, like, I used it when I was farming the Battle Pass. I haven't really used it since then, though. I use it to, like, go invite people to the clan. Because if we invite you to the clan, you have access to, like, all the buildings. If we don't, you don't. So if you ever stumble across, like, someone's old base that they're not using, you can't go inside without being part of the clan. God is a benevolent god, perhaps. But chat, the gods can also do things like this. Oh look, chat, it's a snake. Oh look, chat, it's not a snake. So, God giveth and God can taketh away. But, Mystic Eyes of Death EX, yeah. I reserve admin killing for shit like that. I just don't know where AP is. Is AP even online? Okay, let me double check. I can check the server over here. AP isn't online. AP lied to me. I feel lied. Lied to. I feel am lie. Oh, there you go. So anyways, like, you can see it's a little jank on the load screen when I teleport across the map like that. But it be what it be. Is there a setting to see numerical HP values? Yes. Yes, there is. What it is, I don't remember. But yes, there is. There is, in fact, a setting. Yeah, chat, like, you can tell there's a die system because this is why, like, Lydia's armor, even though it's the same as mine, looks completely different. And there are quite a bit of gear pieces, like, as you guys can see. Where was the armor table? So there's, like, Greek and Roman looking gear. Basically, like, God, what is it? The Dark Brotherhood from Skyrim. They have, like, an assassin set. There's, like, the... I don't even know what you call that. That's, like... I don't know, it just reminds me of, like, Greedfall. I don't really know what you call it. And again, there's, like, light, medium, and heavy armor variants of just about everything. There's the Khitan set, which is, like, your Oriental/Mongol, type set. I don't even know what this is. Oh, Numidian stuff, which is... I don't really know what Numidian is. I think it's, like, somewhat European, like maybe, like, Eastern European. There's Pictish sets, Poitan, which is like kinda French. The Slave Forge stuff, the Turanian, which is like Indian type stuff, the Vanir stuff, which is like Norse, and then the Yamatai stuff, which is like Japanese. You're on now, but where are you? Where BAP? APBL5. I'm just waiting on him to say something, chat. K5 in the southeast section. Okay, yeah, that's definitely a little bit off. Define southeast. I am very lost and confused. Oh my god. What the hell? And he already built an emir. Not own this. Okay, hold on. Where is he? I DM you? Oh, there's AP. There he is. He running. I don't know where he's going. There you go, AP. Now we have added AP to the clan. So like I said, now we can get into AP's house, and now the reverse is also true. I see the type of women that AP likes. You know what? That's probably what hooked AP on this. That's probably how they convinced him. Because we tried to convince AP earlier, and he didn't want to play. But I think they convinced him with the type of woman. The type of woman that he could play. Oh god. You know what? Let's turn fly on. Let's turn. Okay, that's what happened. Okay, good. I was worried that Lydia was gonna fall through the world and then die, and I was about to be like, oh no. Please no. Did you fall through the map? Yeah, I think it's because I was in ghost mode, so I was basically in no clip. But when I teleported, it turned flying off. So, it made me fall through the world, Jack. It was not fun. Anywho, like I said, I hope you guys have enjoyed your little brief view of Conan. I'll try to get you guys some more Conan content if you guys like it. Because there's way more to do in this. There's like dungeons and stuff, so like there's quite a bit of actual like content to do. I just like tried to give you guys a brief overview of like some of the systems in the game and like kind of what it is that I end up doing a lot. But let me see who all's on tonight. We're gonna end it here. I see Mr. Cog on. We're gonna go give him some love. I haven't gotten to raid Cog in a while.
There we go. Yes, that did work. And again, chat, I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, I haven't decided who will be going over, but it'll either probably Gray or Hephaestion. And again, I will see you guys for the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Go give Cog my love. And again, have a good one.